Alright, welcome back, Titanfall 2 fans. We are here with a very special event today. Now, we've seen all types of tournaments, we've seen all types of different formats, but I'm here to bring you a very special exhibition. Typically, we don't have exhibitions in Titanfall 2 land, but I'm trying to change that. I'm trying to show you guys a variety of different things. And today, if you haven't checked the title, we're hosting a Kumite. Now, if you don't know what a Kumite is, a Kumite is all about one person versus the world, okay? And the person that is fighting the world is Corrupt. Corrupt is here, and he's taking the hot seat. He has a grand total of 11 opponents lined up, maybe more, if more people decide to show up and, well, 1v1 him. So the rules are quite simple. All it is a Boomtown 1v1. One game, challenger steps up, results happen, next challenger steps in. Corrupt has the hill. And people are going to try to show up and beat him. And so now, we begin. We have our first opponent, Mr. It's Just a Person. Person, of course, a longtime old guard from Xbox, coming back to his roots. He's been playing on the PC circuit himself. And, well, 1v1s aren't his forte. But even he's decided to show up for this event. And on the other side, we have Corrupt. Corrupt has willingly decided to take the hot seat. He will be up against a ton of players, as I've said, but Corrupt himself from Australia. We're going to have some high ping, but we're going to try to meet as a middle ground, so that way we can get these matches going for people. Corrupt, of course, has shown up in bracket a few times, has had his hopes dashed by some of the top players, but he talks a big game, and he's here to prove himself, and he's going to fight a lot of different skill set of competition. And so, we're going to kick things off. We're going to have Corrupt versus Person for our first game of Titanfall 2's potentially first ever exhibition. So join me and stick around because we got a lot of names in here. I'm going to hit the YY, see if people are ready. Actually, we'll spectate Person first, and then we'll go Corrupt next. All right, the opponents are ready, and we're going to start the match. First game of the Kumite, we have Corrupt versus Person. LTS, no, with a few rules in place. Okay, as I stated before, the format is first to one. Okay, meaning that whoever reaches the 3 count first, they'll take home the victory. The other things, of course, is that there is a gentleman's battery rule in place, meaning that both players are not allowed to do any cheeky pilot things, such as goose the other player for pulling the battery. Meaning this allows a lot more Titan picks to flourish. We're going to see a lot of Ronin 1v1s more than likely, but we're starting off with Person because Person's more than likely going to pick exactly this, the Legion, the Ion. If he's feeling brazen enough, he might pick the Tone. As I've stated before, 1v1s aren't really Person's forte, but in this environment, both players are given a fair start. Corrupt's gonna get his battery. Person's gonna look for his own. Person gets back in the Legion, and now the fight begins. Person opted to take this far back position. Person known to play a bit more patient and more positional. Usually he's more of the support style player, but instead here he is trying to prove his mettle with this 1v1. And 1v1s are kind of interesting, and it's Corrupt on the tone, actually! Corrupt definitely has the matchup advantage here. From what I've heard, Corrupt mainly plays the Ronin and the North Star. Interestingly enough, also has a pocket tone for this situation. Now, the Tone v Legion matchup is relatively slow, where Tone is going to just bully Legion a lot of the time, because that particle wall is going to be very handy about defending against power shots and all sorts of damage, whereas Legion has to expend gun shield right here, especially, just to mitigate tracking rocket damage. Person's trying to count on Corrupt being aggressive, but he doesn't bite. Corrupt's still holding mid, has to drop the particle wall, though. Person smartly holding his cover. His gun shield will come back up relatively soon. Tried to get an early power shot. Not sure if he got the timing or not. I think he did. So that's going to be a good amount of health loss if he did find it. Person trying to walk up. Has only expended 2 bullets, by the way. And he did get it. But now he's down a gun shield. He's going to get beat to death by the Tone. Person trying to play aggressive. But the problem is that the Tone's going to have Salvo Core relatively soon. And Salvo Core has not been popped yet. Salvo Core's been popped kind of late. Person tries to juke, but he gets duped. Corrupt trying to punch him to death. Person surviving as long as he can. Particle wall drop is very good for Corrupt. And Corrupt will take the first round over Person. Very well played by Corrupt. Popped the Salvo Core a little late, so Person could have got a little bit more extra damage, but hits the core, seals the deal. Person nowhere to go, loses the first round. However, only the first round. But the adjustments have to be made very fast, because again, the format is a 1st to 1. Meaning you get a grand total of 3 rounds and you're out. And here comes the immediate adjustments. Person already picking the Ion. Has the turbo engine, so he's going to be able to rotate around the map effectively and play the peak laser shot game. Corrupt, interestingly enough, had turbo engine on the Tone. Person a little slow to get out and get his battery, but he will find it. Corrupt also getting his battery as well. If Corrupt is still on the Tone, then he will be able to still bully this Ion. The problem is that most of Person's Titan picks, outside of if he does play the North Star, is going to have a hard time against the Double Atlas, but instead it's going to be the Ion mirror match. Person opting to play up. Take the ramp position aggressively. Usually Person is the one that's on the defensive, but instead here he is trying to bully Corrupt. Unfortunately misses the laser shot, gets some splitter damage, trying to get those shields off, but Corrupt with a tripwire plus laser shot combo. Already half a Person's life. Person feeling like he needs to make it up immediately. He's going to get some tripwire damage with that one. Smoke. Laser shot is also good for Corrupt. Corrupt with a commanding lead over Person. If Person looks to take this fight, it's going to be problematic because the laser core is going to be coming up relatively soon. Laser core online. Laser core is activated. Laser core for laser core. No, Person tries to go for a punch. Instead, the tripwires will doom him and the laser core will put him in the ground. Person already down 2 rounds to Corrupt.
Half-time.
Person right now, he's kind of in a bit of a rock and a hard place. He's down to 0-2, but as I stated before, 1v1s aren't really his forte, but despite that, he has made some upsets in the recent roulette-style format tournaments, and despite this not being a roulette-style tournament, both players, as we've seen, are changing Titan picks. Typically, 1v1s are dominated by the Strider class picks, especially North Star being the most phenomenal at the 1v1 meta. But interestingly enough, we've seen nothing but Atlases and a Legion from both sides. Person's gonna pull the battery and he's gonna get back into his Legion. As a matter of fact, I think this side, specifically for Legion, is a lot better. And it's gonna be Corrupt on the Monarch. Maybe he anticipated a Ronin from Person. Person tried to find a long-range power shot. He tried to find it again. He will hit that one, but the problem is that the Monarch, all Monarch has to do at this point is trip him down slightly, and he will have health advantage. Monarch more than likely has the advantage, but actually, never mind. Might not be the case anymore due to trading with the Predator Cannon. Corrupt actually not using his movement to mitigate damage. We'll get the Siphon there. He has dashed back out. He's dashing in front of a Legion. He's going to eat a lot of damage for that. Actually, no, the long-range power shot doesn't land. Person just holding this mid position. Hasn't seen Corrupt. Is Corrupt still peeking mid? He is. Person already with the Smart Core online. Try to call out a dash. But these Legion long-range shots are adding up as Corrupt is still trying to peek this Legion. Corrupt maybe looking for this right side, and he does. Person tried to sniff him out with the long-range power shot, not able to find it. Battery comes back up into play. Person's gonna immediately pull. He's happy to take this. Now Person has guaranteed himself health advantage, but the Siphons are gonna come out relatively soon, giving Monarch a lot of things to work with. One Siphon is a dust! Unfortunately can't find a good gun shield by Person. Again, Monarch's Energy Siphon effectively does a bar of health at this point, and she gets a ton of value if she can land it. Corrupt is peeking out in the open, and that's going to be one power shot per Person. Great job by him, sniffing him out. Tries to find a second one, unfortunately can't. Corrupt now already less than a bar. He needs to make a play. Person down to one bullet, but will smartly take the reload. At this point, Corrupt is going to have to all in. He's down way too much health, but the problem is that Person has had the Smart Core online since pretty much the first minute of the game. So if you push the Legion, you're going to be in for a world of hurt. Person not with the gun ready, but Corrupt, I think Corrupt at this point understands that it's relatively over. Not really a whole lot he can do in this situation, but he's trying to see what he can get done. Long range power shot as a read, and Person will win the Monarch round as the Legion. So here we are, Person coming back. He has already won one game. Now, the last format we saw, of course, was the roulette format, where normally people have to change Titans. Not in this case. If you are confident in your Titan pick, you are allowed to lock it in until the end of the game. And Person, interestingly enough, decides to lock in the Ronin. Person, not really known for playing the Ronin class Titans. But here he is, making a debut for himself. We're gonna get a rare sight to see the Person Ronin. Now, I'm not sure how much Person's Ronin has changed since, well, the last time I've seen it. The last time I saw it was quite a few years ago. But we're gonna see what he can make happen, and it will be the Ronin mirror. Interestingly enough, Corrupt more than likely gonna have the advantage. Person already with a great arc wave and a great melee punish as well. Unfortunately, he doesn't block that arc wave. Great shotgun shells will actually land on Corrupt, and he'll get an arc wave for himself. Person's actually winning the Ronin mirror. Person actually right now doing phenomenally in this Ronin 1v1. He actually has a huge life advantage over Corrupt. Decides to block, throws an arc wave, gets the sword core online. What's your sword core look like, Person? Oh, he tried to do some high class maneuver. Does get the Doom. Actually does find another great melee. Corrupt, however, trying to make it back. Gets one swing. Person waits out the melee, and he does get it. Person actually wins the Ronin 1v1 over Corrupt. What a phenomenal display by Person. Person's not even a Ronin main himself, and he took it to Corrupt. Right now, the score is 2-2. One more round will decide the victor. I wonder if Corrupt is going to lock in what he won with the first round, either the Tone or maybe the Ronin pick for himself. But Person has elected to go with his tried and true. He's going back to the Legion. That pull is very fast. The thing is that you can get information on what Titan picks are based on how fast they pull. So Corrupt, more than likely, a Strider class Titan of himself. I wonder if he decided to lock in the Ronin or the North Star. Person already taking up his rebel side. Gonna play the long range game. Trying to see what kind of damage he can inflict on Corrupt's approach. That's a good amount of shields, but he's expended 20 bullets. I don't think Corrupt knows he's in long range mode. Corrupt could push him actually. Especially with Person being down half his mag. Has to take a reload now, but Corrupt is a little slow on it. Hasn't popped the gun shield. Gun shield gets arc wave. Double arc wave is good. And Corrupt is just going to opt to back away from Legion. Great close range power shot. Landing a good amount of damage on the Corrupt. Corrupt is backed off, and so will Person. Person will take the reload. Overall, a very good trade for Legion, especially if Person has the ult port. Blocks with the shield. However, the shield gets deleted. Person not looking up to save his gun shield, and Corrupt not blocking enough bullets, meaning that Person's gonna get Smart Corp. Smart Corp with Power Shot combined. Corrupt is doomed. Person is hunting him down. Corrupt is trying to get away around the corner. He'll survive with a pixel, but he's a pixel in a dream against a great Legion main, and Person actually wins the 1v1 over Corrupt. The reverse 3-0 sweep to start this event. Kudos to Person for it. He'll take that one. And remember, it is first to one. Meaning, that Person, that's all he gets. Corrupt, that's all you get too. But we're going to move on to our second challenger. We are going to bring up Buck. And 1 second, let me do some TO stuff real quick. Go send Buck another invite. Buck, if you are in the chat, my good sir, please join the lobby. Also, to anyone else who's in the stream, if you yourself have an Xbox and you want to get in on this event, you can still sign up. Even though the event started, if you want to take part of this event in this specific LTS 1v1, you are more than welcome to sign up and play. Sign-ups officially close once the last opponent has pulled up. But for now, we're trying to get our next opponent in here. Speaking of that, we're trying to bring in our friend, the Buck. Buck, primarily known for his PC play, has decided to actually show up for this event on console. I'm gonna go at Buck real quick. Okay, cool, he's here. He had to restart his game, but Buck is here. Okay? And now that Buck is here, we're going to instantly get started. Okay? We're going to try to run these matches really fast. So don't go anywhere, alright? Unlike some of the other tournament events we've had, this stuff, immediate. One after the other. One after the other. This is the style that Kumite is. No breaks. You just fight the next guy, and you fight the next guy, and then you fight the next guy. Alright? Welcome to being in the hot seat, Corrupt. The next opponent will be the Buck 97. Buck, of course, from the PC side of things, has been, of course, he's only been in one tournament to my knowledge, but plays a variety of Titans, and is overall he's actually a pretty strong mechanical player, despite his rare appearances. Buck gonna elect to select the Ion for his first, and we're gonna see what Corrupt decides to select for himself. Both pilots have pulled the battery. And it's going to be Tone versus Ion. Corrupt has elected to go back to the Tone round 1. He saw success with it against Person, and this time he's going to try to see success here versus Buck. Of course, Buck is going to be on the losing side of the matchup, but Corrupt seems like he knows how to play the Tone v Ion matchup, but that rocket reflex was huge. Buck saving just a little bit of his energy to get a ton of damage. Corrupt down a lot of health and a lot of core because of the fact that he's running the turbo engine, so he's not going to have the ability. Great tracking rockets by Corrupt. The problem is he's surrounded by tripwires and a laser core down the middle. This is definitely going to be the end of Corrupt for sure. The Buck taking it to Corrupt. Corrupt unable to reset effectively. That one vortex speed cost him the round, and once again, it is first to one. You get one try. 3 rounds, and that's going to be 1 round for Buck. Gonna go back to Buck. We're gonna see what he decides selecting. He's gonna select a Ronin for himself. Last time we saw the person Ronin, of course, person, you know, less experienced on the Ronin, but he himself is a strong player. This time we're gonna see someone who's a bit more well versed on it. Buck with the mistim on the pull, but thankfully it's Gentleman's battery, so nobody's really getting goosed. Batteries have both been claimed. We might see a Ronin mirror, and it is the Ronin mirror. Buck versus Corrupt. Overall, Corrupt gonna come on top of that trade. Both notice try to melee. However, Corrupt lands both the Arcus and the shotgun shot. Corrupt is doing a fantastic job right now, asserting his dominant lead. Decides to peek aggressively, gets a lot more unblocked shotgun shots and a melee. Corrupt is so close to core. Corrupt is basically full health plus sword core. The Buck needs to start running for his life. Instead, tries to turn in melee. Does box for his life. Understands it's over. Corrupt taking him out with the arc wave. Buck unfortunately couldn't find success on the Ronin mirror, where Person succeeded. But Corrupt coming back, tying up the score. 1-1 overall. Halftime, and now it is, and the sides will be switched. Honestly, if I'm Buck, I would like to see Buck pick Tone. Just once. Yes, Corrupt can play the Ronin, okay? But maybe I'm feeling a certain type of way, but I would like to see it. And it will actually be a different pick entirely. It will be Buck playing the North Star. North Star, a phenomenal Titan at 1v1s. The thing with North Star in a 1v1 situation is that usually with more chaos on the map, it's a lot easier to pin her down, but the fact that it's a 1v1 means that every decision is very chess-like. And with that being said, playing a North Star here, she is uncatchable unless someone makes a mistake. IOB North Star's the matchup. Buck taking aggressive hover. Buck actually, from what I've spectated before, he likes these a bit more aggressive hovers with the North Star. He might get him punished, but he's looking for damage. He is running the overcourse, so he's gonna have less dash peak potential, but he will be able to build the flight core provided he lands enough damage. Corrupt, however, already sneaking up on Buck. Buck doesn't have a shot charge. Corrupt can look for some great damage here. Buck eats a laser shot. Thankfully, he doesn't lose his shields, though, so not the end of the world. Does get punished slightly. That is also his E-smoke gone, so he's not going to have that. Unfortunately, Buck not able to call out the timings of Corrupt's Vortex shield. Corrupt correctly holding Vortex for as long of a duration as he needs to. That's a great cluster, so Corrupt has to run forward. Buck misses the dash shot. Now he's going to eat a laser shot for his trouble. That's going to be his shields and health advantage gone. Buck's awkwardly in his middle position. Ion was out of energy. She's going to eat that cluster missile for a bit. I'm trying to find a hover shot. Corrupt. Oh, I don't think he blocked that one. I'm not sure if he blocked that one or not. If so, that's a huge win for Buck. Corrupt smartly doesn't engage around that corner, understanding where the North Star was. But you can see it right here in action where North Star is just so hard to catch and pin down. And Ion, while she is holding Vortex and Vortexing a lot of shots, it's mainly due to the fact that she can't do damage back unless the North Star is already in front of her and in the open. And now here we are, the flight core comes out. Corrupt needs to get out of the bridge immediately if he wants to keep surviving, and he will. And does a great job of mitigating most of the flight core. It still hurt a lot, but he's still alive. He has to find laser shots, however. He's going to find that one for sure. Get a little bit of damage on board. 2 more good laser shots, and that will be Buck rolling down. 1 laser shot is good. However, Buck trying to find the shots back with the railgun. Got a cluster around that corner. That's a very phenomenal cluster. Corrupt's not going to be able to walk that way, but he's going to be able to push up this way. And Corrupt has a laser core. He doesn't have to pop it. Smartly doesn't pop it in case Buck tries to look for a rip. Both Titans are doomed. 1 shot will decide it. But Corrupt doesn't have enough energy for the laser shot, I don't think. Buck trying to see if he can find the kill with the railgun shot. Dash. Can't find it. Corrupt re-peeking with the Vortex. Baits the shot. Laser core comes out. Buck, are you going to go for the dash shot? Great strafe away by Corrupt to continue surviving. Hover shot. Misses. Laser shot. Return. Almost dies. Buck dash shots. And he gets it. Barely in a close 1v1, Buck will prevail over Corrupt. Things looked a little scary there, but Buck able to secure the bag. You'll have a 1-round advantage in this 1st-to-1 set. Now, more than likely, Buck is not going to pick the same Titan again. He's more than likely going to want to swap off to something he's a bit more comfortable with. And Corrupt might lock in the Ronin. And there it is. He has selected, to my knowledge, Buck specifically runs Strider with the Predator Cannon. The true fastest Titan in the game. For those of you that aren't familiar with the inside joke, we're specifically referring to Lightweight Alloy's Legion. Lightweight Alloy's Legion specifically enjoys a walk speed buff while he is aimed down with the Predator Cannon. You can see he's moving around right now, enjoying life. And on the return side will be a Legion from Corrupt, as well as the long-range power shot already does half of Buck's shields. Corrupt already burned the gun shield. I believe Buck might have seen it. I'm not sure if Corrupt knows where Buck is. He tried to find a long-range power shot of his own. Buck misses the punish slightly. The input latency between console and PC is very different. Mainly due to the fact that, of course, that on PC you're allowed to have a better frame rate, a lot more, you know, custom things to yourself. But here we are on the Xbox. Buck trying to see if he can spot out Corrupt's Legion. I'm not sure where he is. It's taking a second, holding mid, and Corrupt looked for a dash power shot, but he couldn't find it. Pops the gun shield early. Buck gonna try to find a splash. He does find a splash. Great job from Buck. Buck could have actually looked to pull that battery there because Corrupt dashed away, but instead he will opt to just hold his position as both Legions are currently playing a game of chicken around this corner. It's going to be Corrupt with the first shot. Matter of fact, Corrupt with the second shot. The problem is that Buck is in long-range mode, Corrupt is in close-range mode, so he's going to have to reload. Corrupt with another great power shot. Buck down a huge amount of health. He's going to back up and look for that battery, but if he does that, the battery trade's on the table. Corrupt coming out aggressively, takes a little bit of damage, but again, Buck has so much to make up. He's going to look for the dash power shot because Corrupt's in mid. Pops the slow peek, tries to find it, but this is the thing. Because Buck is taking the Strider with the Predator Cannon kit, he doesn't have a second power shot to deal more burst damage, and burst damage is what he needs right now because the clock is winding down and not in his favor. 30 seconds left, but Buck might be forced to just take the 1v1. Instead, Corrupt will disengage with a power shot of his own. Corrupt trying to seal the deal with the smart core. Buck with the smooth moves to keep himself alive, but at this point, he's running out of options. Great dash power shot for Corrupt, and Corrupt will even up the games. Two is the round count. And now we're going to another final round. We saw Person earlier win it out in this situation, and we're gonna find out if Corrupt will be the one to prevail this time. Buck got out of it. Of course, Buck plays a variety of Titans. We will now see what he locks in last, and it will be an Ion. I'm very interested to see what Corrupt decides to lock in for his final Titan. Again, the Striders are very prevalent in the 1v1 meta, mainly due to the fact that they're very difficult to shut down. A slightly slow pull coming out for Corrupt. So I wonder if... No, he selected the Tone. The matchup is Tone v Ion. We saw how great dash shot from Corrupt to get the lock-ons early. Buck already having to take cover in case of the tracking rockets. But we saw earlier how Buck was able to force aggression and was able to pin down the Tone. We're going to see if he can do it again. Corrupt has to be very careful about how he uses his abilities and how he feeds this Vortex Shield. Tracking rockets have been expended, but Buck is not out of it. Again, he has a bit of a hill to climb because of the fact that Corrupt is on this Tone. The smoke is great. Plus, laser shot to get a little bit more damage. Corrupt is standing on top of tripwires. He needs to back out of this area relatively soon because the tripwires will hit him. Even from there, he needs to be careful. Notice that the tripwires are down because tripwire cooldown is a thing that is in the game. Punches come out. Laser shot for the melee punish. Tracking rockets punish is even better. Great awareness for Corrupt of the situation. Corrupt, he's gonna get Salvacore online, and he does get Salvacore online immediately. Buck has to eat it, and Buck will go down. Corrupt with the fadeaway Salvacore. Gonna take Buck's hopes and dreams out of the game. That's gonna be a game win for Corrupt. Showing that this is why he's in the hot seat. Unfortunately, Buck will fall down, but he's going to have to enjoy a nice comfy seat next to me in the spectator seat. As for the next person we got coming up, we have a real doozy. Ladies and gentlemen, this is definitely a match that you're going to want to see. We have the one, the only, Oval Basher 360. It is a rare treat to see him play. And it's an even rarer treat to see him play a 1v1, no less. 360. An absolutely phenomenal Ronin. One of the best Ronins on Xbox. His mechanics, insane. His movement, insane. And we're going to see what he brings to the table and how Corrupt is going to fight back. This is definitely a case where Corrupt is the underdog, and I forgot to text it. I was too busy being hype. I'm going to draw the round. My bad. Had to happen once, right? But regardless, we can just fix that real quick, and we can go right back in. But ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we're going to have Oval Basher 360 versus Corrupt. 360 can play also a variety of Titans, but he is mainly known for the Ronin. He can also play the North Star, he can also play the Tone, he can also play the Legion. Matter of fact, he can play basically anything he wants, but he's here to put on a show. And we're about to see a real good one. 360 already with the optimal bat pull strats. Got himself a relatively decent time to get back in the Ronin immediately. Corrupt hasn't even pulled his battery yet. 360 is going to wait. Thankfully, 360 knows that he's going to wait and not cross mid until the Titan is already in action. And unfortunately, Corrupt has locked in the Tone against 360's Ronin. Corrupt, I wish you luck. 360 right now, already taking a ton of health away from the Tone. Smartly disengages, still has a ton of shields to work with. Another great volley of shotgun shots rains down, decides to phase and block just in case of those delayed tracking rockets. Very nice awareness from 360 as he pushes up. Looks to be more aggressive against this Tone. The Tone with no wall. He has Turbo Engine to be able to build space. The problem is that you're fighting a Ronin and you're not going to be able to get away from a Ronin of this caliber. Eat some tracking rockets for his trouble. Keeps him down more with the lead wall. Decides to pull up the sword core. Melee box is coming off from Corrupt, trying to survive. But good luck against these odds. Corrupt on the losing end of the matchup will be taken out by 360's Ronin. Welcome back. Now a little bit of Titanfall 2 lore for you. Okay. Due to the fact that apparently Corrupt has been forgetful about a few things. 360 likes to refer to Corrupt as, well, his goldfish. And we're going to see if 360 can continue fishing. I'm going to see what he's got for himself. 360 already on the path to pull the battery. Again, 360 is going to play Ronin throughout this entire one-game set. 360 going to get back in his Titan, and he's going to wait for Corrupt to get back in. I wonder if Corrupt himself will lock in the Ronin and take the mirror. If he does, he is going to be in for a while. Instead, he's trying to take the counter pick. The Monarch comes out from Corrupt. 360 now going to be on the losing end of the spectrum for the matchup. 360 opts to just wait a second to verify where Corrupt is. I went to go to mid to see if we could spot him, but clearly 360 knows exactly where he is, as Corrupt is sitting in the back of the map with his shield advantage. This is one of the things you're going to want to do as Monarch, is deny Ronin the fight. Gets another great siphon, but Corrupt playing evasive. Great arc wave over the wall, going to dismantle some of those shields. As Corrupt is still building distance away from 360. Another great volley of shotgun shots comes off of 360. Doesn't look for an all-in. Instead tries to play a bit more cheeky. We can see it here as he gets actual lead wall damage, and I believe 360 off of that lead wall burst has health advantage over Corrupt. Corrupt might have to play aggressively here. The other problem too with Corrupt, with the way he's positioned, is that he has to be in position to deny these batteries, because if he's not in position to deny these batteries, 360 is just going to happily take another one for himself. And you're going to give the Ronin Sword Core. 360 gets another battery. He's full health. Corrupt, you weren't in position to punish. 360 more than likely going to take the phase all in. He will. 360 has a Sword Core, expends all his ammo. Sword Core comes out. Monarch trying to defend herself as best she can. 360 actually getting boxed. Gets another great melee. Gets one more. Archer tries to finish the deal. No, it will not, but he will Sword Core and bring the Monarch down. 2-0 lead, shutout for 360.
Halftime.
Pilot control initiated. Focus. Plan. Attack.
You're bloody well destroying them. Keep
Now 360 has one more round, but unless Corrupt makes the reverse 3-0 sweep. Already making his way to his battery, gonna get the battery pull for himself. I wonder if Corrupt is gonna stick the Monarch, or he's gonna lock in the Ronin himself. It will be the Ronin Mirror. This is something 360 is very practiced against. He's played Lord Zia, myself, a ton of Xbox's own GOATs in the mirror match. Corrupt not blocking. You need a block versus this level specifically. 360 hits a ton of crits, whether they are blocked or not, and you can see how much damage he's doing. However, Corrupt fighting back, trying his best. ADS level wall fade away. Doesn't punish the reload. Actually will punish it here. 60 trying to find the Doom, and he will find the Doom with the Arc Wave. Very well played by him. All these melees are baits, and Corrupt knows that. He has to be very careful about how he approaches 360. Great melee timing by Corrupt. He'll find one melee. Corrupt coming up on top of the Sword Core duel, actually. Getting the D1 360, taking it to him. Corrupt expends all his ammo, and Corrupt will actually find the rip, and he will upset the Ronin Mirror. Corrupt definitely got to be feeling good about that one. Now, Corrupt, we've seen him. He's fighting back. He's not out yet. But again, he's still got to fight back for at least 2 more rounds if he wants to win. Wildly enough, I believe the only person to win the Ronin Mirror against Corrupt is actually Person. Buck, we saw him fall down earlier. And 360, we've seen him fall once. But you know what they say. You get knocked down, but you get up again. 360 still sticking tried and true with the Ronin. Corrupt does get the pull. And the Ronin Mirror will commence once again. 360 tries to look for a great melee off of the crate. He will eat that Arc Wave. Great shotgun shots coming out. Does get one unblocked, but Corrupt with the double Arc Wave punish. Corrupt with double Arc Wave punish opts to play a bit more passively. 360 is the one with the anomaly, so he's going to have the phase advantage over Corrupt. Doesn't block the other Arc Wave, unfortunately. Corrupt doing a phenomenal job of holding his health advantage and just waiting out 360's aggression. Corrupt has to be very careful about how he decides to, or 360 has to be very careful how he decides to engage at this point because of the fact that Corrupt has a space and health advantage to his name. Corrupt playing very passively. More than likely does opt to pop the sword core. 360's in a world of trouble. Great melee box from 360. However, he's definitely gonna go down here. Corrupt even in help. He got 2 rounds on 360. Oh no, this is not a good look. 360 is probably not feeling good about this one. And Corrupt, he's trying to make the reverse 3-0 happen. Oh man. Is Corrupt about to take 2 in a row? Corrupt can make it happen. He can probably take 2 in a row. He can probably take 1 from 360. He definitely took the 1 from Buck. Seems that person might have been the only person that can actually keep Corrupt down. But that's not unless 360 has the final word. One last round. Ronin is still the call for 360. Like I said, he's not going to change Titans anytime soon. He's going to wait, let Corrupt get back in. He decides it's time to play serious. Not going to do any streaky checks this time, waiting for Corrupt to make a move. Seems to be the call. Corrupt tries to go for a melee. No, he actually tries to go for an arc wave, but he will eat that unblocked arc wave. The thing is that 360 runs the anomaly, so phase will come up relatively soon. Matter of fact, it's about to come up right now. Corrupt trying to look for a dash shotgun shot, interestingly enough, not a melee. 360 right now having a huge advantage over Corrupt. Corrupt lands the 2 arc waves, but 360 will take the reload, and he's going to find a few unblocked shots on a Corrupt. Very nice move with 360. Again, you can see how great 360 plays this kiting game, but the problem is that the health is still relatively even, all things considered. However, Corrupt not having phase, now out of movement as well. He's gonna feel a world of hurt because the sword cook's incoming. He misses the melee. He tries to defend himself with the arc wave, also not gonna be able to defend himself as well. 360 more than happy to just wait out Corrupt. Corrupt, you are the one now that you have to make the play. You're the one down on life, tries to go for a phase man, but 360 challenges him, and he shakes his head as well, putting down his goldfish once and for all. Ooh, he definitely felt a certain type of way. And he will put the goldfish down. Regardless, that's going to be the end of 360's run. He will secure victory for himself. And we're going to move on. The next opponent we got coming up will be the one and only Wild. Or not Wild, excuse me. I just read the chat. Apparently, Wild wants to get in on this event. As I've stated before, if you have an Xbox and you want to get in, boot up, pull up, okay? And you can be in here. I have just seen that Wild, old Xbox veteran, actually is showing up. Oh my god. We'll get him in later, but for now, the opponent that is coming up to bat will be the one and only Camparius. Camp repping the Sin City tag. We've seen Sin City, of course, play a ton of different tournaments, both on Xbox and PC. And we're going to see if they can take the Boomtown added to their collection. Camp, of course, a phenomenal Strider player in his own right. Initially was one of the OG North Star players, and has since moved to the Ronin. Can also play the Ion, can also play the Legion, and I believe can also play Tone. But for the main things that he's known for his 2 Strider picks. So more than likely, Camp is going to lock in the Ronin here. We're more than likely going to see a Ronin 1v1 continue. Actually, no! Camp will pick the North Star! Camp actually here to spice things up for us. We saw a Ronin mirror for a few rounds straight. This time, it's going to be North Star versus whatever Corrupt locks in. Camp having a little bit of fun throwing hollow pilots at his opponent. As I've stated before, you can't be goosed. So, everything's relatively fine. Camp tries to find the shot. Corrupt smartly ducks away. Does find a lock on. Great shot from Corrupt. Tracking around curve unfortunately doesn't find the mark. Tracking around curve against North Star is very awkward. Camp actually playing aggressive with the double tether, apparently. means that Camp doesn't have the Viper Thruster's hover, meaning that his hovers are going to be kind of scuffed, but does actually dodge the tracking rockets. Camp tries to find the shot. Unfortunately, Corrupt, while Camp was running the spacing, Corrupt was better at getting behind cover. Right here, Camp is trying to hold ground against the Tone. Misses the shot barely. Tried to get the lineup. Tracking rockets are incoming. Finds a little bit of a partial. Yeah, does tether one way. Cluster missiles the other. However, Corrupt can look for aggression here. Great dash shot by Camp, actually. The problem is that Camp has the turbo engine, meaning that he's not going to be able to build flight core. And I don't know if Corrupt knows that. Corrupt getting a phenomenal tracking record curve, actually winning the Tone v Northstar matchup. A very difficult matchup for Tone, in my opinion. More tethers are being laid down. Northstar lays down the minefield, making her difficult to approach, but Corrupt will try to approach that way. Uses Particle Wall aggressively as well, trying to see if I lock-ons. Another great shot coming out for Camp. Also avoids the rockets, doesn't get doomed just yet. Charge shot, barely misses the mark. Will he look for a dash shot? He does. Tries to find it, unfortunately cannot. Corrupt might look for an aggressive push here because he has Particle Wall up. Camp actually gets doomed. Camp, you have to be careful of these next set of tracking rockets. Use the roof to mitigate damage. Very nice job from Camp. Camp can't find the Doom just yet, though. One more shot from Corrupt, and he'll get the lock-ons. Oh, hovers in the air. Tracking rockets come out, trying to still find the mark. No flight core is active either by Camp. Both Titans. Now we play the game of Trick It. I believe that's a Salvo Core pop, and Corrupt found the Salvo Core on the Camp. Camp tried to get up and over mid, but Salvo Core ended up doing him. Camp falls down with the Northstar. But again, we've seen a lot of back and forth. Corrupt is definitely here to play. If anything, he has shown that he's a comp player. Now I gotta give it up to him. Camp now decides to lock in the Ion. Again, we've seen Camp play a ton of different Titans. He has participated in the roulette tournament. I believe he lost to Boyka in that one. And Boyka made it really far. However, this time the Ion Mirror will be the matchup of choice. This is another Ion Mirror that we're actually going to end up seeing. Camp, I should also mention, typically plays, unfortunately, barely off of that laser shot. He's going to try to see if we can find another one more like with the double dash P coming up. No, actually, it will be Corrupt playing the energy advantage. However, the tripwires are going to detonate, and they're going to deal a lot of damage back to Corrupt. Ooh, great laser shot timing by Camp. Camp with a huge lead in the Ion Mirror. Gotta circle around, try to see if he can catch Corrupt sleeping on the crate. No, Corrupt does see him. Does get some splitter shots, and he does drop tripwires, and he is able to pop his own tripwires. Oh, the tripwire vertical hitbox would have actually hit Corrupt there, I think. Regardless, both Ions will regenerate their energy and return their cooldowns. Great punch by Camp to send Corrupt upward. That way he would miss the laser shot, however, does eat the tripwires of his own. Trying his best to mitigate damage. Corrupt and Camp, relatively even. Great block by Camp. Tries to find a laser core. He's so close to core. Opts to play a little aggressively so he can get tripwires around this corner. Tries to punish Corrupt for not having shield. And we can see right now both Ions opting to just splitter each other. As Camp, more than likely, a lot closer to the core than Corrupt is. Camp just needs a little bit more. He'll find it. Here comes the laser core. Corrupt out of options. And Corrupt will lose the Ion Mirror. And that's going to be an even round count.
Time.
So while Camp lost with a Northstar, he found mileage with the Ion. It's very interesting to me how, like, both these players are just not opting to just pick straight Striders. They're opting to pick the Ions. They're opting to pick the Tone. They're opting to pick a bunch of Titans for themselves. And speaking of a bunch of different Titans, we're going to see Camp pick the Monarch. We've only seen Corrupt pick the Monarch so far. And now it's going to be his opponent that opts to take him up in the 1v1. Camp gonna secure his battery, has the AWOL, but doesn't really need it in this situation. And we're gonna see what the matchup is. Both Titans haven't made an appearance to each other. As I've stated before, Camp is a bit of a slower pace player. Oh, he spotted something there. Understands through the Monarch. It's going to be a Monarch Mirror! The first Monarch Mirror of this specific style of event. Overall, Camp losing that trade slightly because Brooks is going to have shield. And now both Monarchs are just going to opt to Exo-60 each other to death. Camp still playing aggressively. Corrupt using his full combo. Because he used full combo, he's going to be down a Siphon. However, the problem is that Camp is down so much health. Corrupt already with the arc rounds. Gonna doom Camp for sure. Corrupt tries to find the melee, can't find it. Siphon should be coming up for Corrupt as well, though. He does find it. 3-on from Camp. Tries to find a return Siphon, but he's losing way too much health. Matter of fact, Camp might just fall down right here. Barely doesn't find it. Camp needs to get around this corner before Corrupt shoots him to death. But the Monarch more than likely going to make the round around that corner and just all it. No, he doesn't. Surprisingly, Corrupt opts to just play patient. Camp really wishes he has to stim right now, as Corrupt will round the corner and win the Monarch Mirror for himself. Corrupt with a little bit of style. He got auto Titan Punch, tried to find the Siphon kill. Of course, you know, we're allowed to have a little bit of fun here. Now, at this point, if you are Camp, do you lock in the Ronin? We all know it's one of his picks that he's known for. But the question is, will it come out?
They aren't winning by much. Take them out, 6-4.
And he does. Camp, one of the more defensive Ronins. So I'm interested to see, does Corrupt either play the mirror or does he lock in the Monarch and try to steal the game away? That poll is relatively fast, so it might be the fact that we're going to see another Ronin mirror coming out. Either that or it might be the Monarch. Yeah, Pop can take mid position early. He has seen the Ronin. It's going to be Corrupt versus Camp. Corrupt burning all his movement early, but as I stated before, Camp, in contrast to 360, 360 is a very fast player. Camp a lot slower. Opted to let his opponents beat into him as he retaliates. Overall, Camp, I believe, it won that trade. Corrupt already down his shields, but the shotgun aim from Camp has not been the greatest. Great block from Camp, great melee pin. Unfortunately, misses the arc wave to punish the melee. But Camp is winning on cooldown and shotgun. Matter of fact, gets a nice one unblocked shot for himself. Decides to disengage out that corner. Great stuff from Camp. Corrupt already wasting millimeters of mag, so Camp is already in position to push up and try to bully. Tries to get an arc wave, unblocked by Corrupt. Again, you can see how these little staggers are hitting Corrupt over and over as Camp just continues to mitigate more and more damage, denying his opponent his way back into the game. But as I say that, he tries to phase kill him, and he doesn't get the mark, and now it will be Corrupt with the Sword Core. Camp with a phenomenal melee from mid. Those AE smoke so that if Corrupt tries to go in there and kill him, he will die. You need to be careful, Camp. Camp playing with his food. He almost died for it, but he will secure the deal. Corrupt had an opportunity to win the game, but he couldn't find the melee. And it will be Camp. With the movement at the very end, does make it another even 2-2. Now, here's the question. As Corrupt, do you pick the Monarch, or do you pick the Ronin? Camp's still locking in the Ronin. He wants to seal the deal. Corrupt could look to play the Monarch, but we saw how that went versus 360. 360, of course, you know, able to use Anomaly, able to find all these little cheeky places to be, and eventually just run down Corrupt because Corrupt was not able to contest batteries well. Whereas Camp, a bit more defensive. And I say that as Camp will be the one to make the first move, tried to punish the melee, unfortunately misses the arc wave. All these little decisions will add up as you're playing Ronin. Saves himself one shotgun shot and gets it as well. Huge advantage for Camp so far. These little things and Ronin duels really matter. Camp melee boxing Corrupt for a ton of damage. Corrupt just find a follow-up melee, but Corrupt not blocking the shotgun shot. Swordcore incoming, phenomenal melee, missed time on the face, not able to defend himself. Camp trying to find another melee. Arc Wave is good. Camp right now. Actually, instead, opting to play with his food. We all know what he wants. He's going up. He's going over. He's trying to get the rip. Unfortunately, Corrupt lives, but Corrupt tries to fight in the E-Smoke, and that is going to be it. Camp decisively puts down Corrupt. While things were looking a little rough for his other picks, he does pick the Rodin, and he does seal the deal. As I've stated before, it is 1st to 1. Coming up next, we're going to have Lulz Guy, a longtime player from the Xbox scene. Hasn't been seen. He's also, actually I should mention, he is on PC. He does make rare appearances on PC. But we haven't seen him play, I believe, any of the recent tournaments. So for those of you that haven't been around, and you don't know who he is, he's another person who can play a jack of all trades, but I believe he mains Ronin, if I'm not mistaken. So we've got another member of the Old Guard taking on Corrupt. Lulz Guy versus Corrupt begins immediately. As I've stated before, with the Kumite format, there is no breaks. Absolutely no breaks. You keep fighting until there are no people left, regardless of win or lose. And honestly, regardless of what the overall matches in terms of wins straight up has been, Corrupt has been doing very well for himself, I think. A lot of he has not been, I don't think anyone so far has been able to shut him out 3-0. But let's see if that can change. Lulz Guy coming up to the plate with the Overcore Ion. He's going to look to build a Laser Core and try to use it in whatever matchup he's thrown up against. It is very wild to me that we have a bunch of players who actually play a ton of different Titans. Lulz Guy re-embarking. He's going to see what he can see in mid. Opposite Vortex early in case of any aggression coming out. Locking up this mid choke point. Still holding Vortex against Corrupt's Tone. Again, we've seen this time and time again where Corrupt opposite just picks the Tone early outright. Lulz Guy, what kind of matchup experience do you have against Tone? Matchup not in Ion's favor, as I've said time and time again. And the punches from Corrupt are slowly adding up, and that rocket timing was very good by him as well. However, he's not going to have enough ammo to get the next lock on. He's going to look for a punish for the Dragon Rockets. No, instead, Op's still holding to continue aggression, and he's going to beat the Ion Core. Sablecore comes out, and Sablecore will always be Laser Core if you have health. Corrupt putting down Lulz Guy. Lulz not laughing now.
Welcome back, pilot.
Again, no one has been able to shut out Corrupt. Still keeping himself on the board throughout this entire event. But he's not out of the woods yet. Lulz Guy immediately locking in the double Arcwave Ronin for himself. Corrupt, of course, has to win this round to make himself go up 2-0. And I should also mention that Corrupt's not out of the woods by any means. We've still got a lot of strong players that want to step up to the plate and have a fight for themselves. Lulz Guy already bearing the phase early to get that mid position. The problem is, however, he doesn't have Anomaly, so his phase is going to be down for a relatively long time. Lulz Guy playing carefully, as he believes he's been seen by Corrupt's Tone. Corrupt already playing away from the Ronin. Drops the Particle Wall. Unfortunately, that's going to eat an Arc Wave for sure. Lulz Guy pushing forward aggressively as he's trying to pin down this Tone. The Turbo Engine Tone is actually very nice against Ronin because of the fact that you can look to just position away from Ronin overall. The problem is, however, is that once you are here and you have to fight through Ronin, it's a very rough time. Lul's Guy's gonna push aggressively for sure because Tone has to take a reload. Unfortunately, Lul's Guy missing way too much damage for himself, has to block rockets, got hit by one, which is gonna matter because now the Sorcerer comes out, and Baroque might be able to actually get Salvo Core online, but again, this is another problem, is that not having Salvo Core online when you need it to defend yourself is a huge deal versus Tone. Lul's Guy tries to find the red, and it will be actually the cover of the winning the Tone v Ronin mirror! Lul's Guy tried to line up the grip, but mistimed it! Instead of taking the kill on the Tone, he tried to get the phase rip, did it too early, got the normal sword core swing, and Lul's Guy might be the one to actually get shut out himself.
Half time.
Lul's Guy has his back to the wall. He might be our first 3-0 of the day, but he's got something to say about it. He's going to fight back right now. Locks in the Legion. Actually might have locked in the SWPC Legion. We've seen how popular this kid has been, especially with the micro-positioning style of play that some Legions like to play. Lul's Guy, unfortunately missing the battery. That's going to cost him some time, but thankfully, as I stated before, it is Gentleman's Battery. No one's allowed to get goosed in this 1st-1. Lul's Guy coming face-to-face with a Ronin now. The problem is he's in long range mode. He has to switch. Corrupt could have looked for aggression there, but opts not to. Ray Gun Shield going to block some of the shotgun shots. Matter of fact, going to block most of it. However, he's not going to be able to find the follow-up power shot. That's a huge loss. Actually, Lul's Guy didn't elect to use Gun Shield until now. Matter of fact, a bit of a preemptive pop. Now that's going to go away for sure to the Arc Wave. Doesn't mitigate correctly as well. Corrupt with a staggering lead over Lul's Guy's Legion. Corrupt making another pass with his abilities. He has the Sword Core online. Sword Core coming out. Power shot is not going to find the mark. Lul's Guy, we knew you well, and we're going to see you at the next event you decide to enter. We're not going to see you anymore on the stream. You can come to the chat. 3-0 for Corrupt, the first shutout of this event. But as I stated before, we keep going. Okay. Lul's Guy will take a comfortable seat next to Buck. Fortunately, with the loser side. But now we're going to have another person show up. Another old guard of Xbox coming up to bat. It's going to be Mexico's own Marketol. Marketol, part of the Inferno roster. Inferno roster consisting of mainly players from Mexico who have in the past actually beaten Beta in bracket. While Marketol hasn't been playing the game as actively recently, is a veteran in his own right, similar to Person. And we're going to see what he brings to the table this time. Will be Corrupt versus Marketol. Will Marketol add to Corrupt streak? Or is he going to be the one to win it? Marketol opting for the Anomaly Ronin. Marketol has played 1v1s against myself, 360, so he's very familiar with the Ronin mirror match. Even when Crouch Check was in its debut, he was there. But again, he hasn't been that active in the game. Oh my goodness, hold up. Apparently, I just had a fire alarm go off in the middle of me commentating. But it is off now, so we're going to continue. Pretend like nothing happened. Marketol coming face-to-face with Corrupt Stone. Gets the arc with the wall, but he's not going to have the arc for the particle wall. Opposite phase boost in. Tries some shotgun damage. Great punches from Corrupt. Art is going to save himself a lot of Ronin disruption. However, he has used the tracking rockets. Great arc whip for him. Marketolo to slow Corrupt's retreat. The problem is that Corrupt is now stuck fighting head-on against the Ronin. Does find the particle wall. Does try to find tracking rockets, but the splash damage is going to do a lot to Corrupt. Swordcore comes out, and now Swordcore is more than likely going to be able to do Corrupt in, and Marketolo's already going to put a round on the board for himself. Now, however, the thing is that we've seen Corrupt play the Monarch, we've seen him play the Ronin. Marketolo's more than likely not going to change Titans. He's just going to keep picking stuff. He's going to pick the same stuff because why fix what isn't broken? Marketolo's going to look for the close battery pull instead of the overheads that we've seen. We've seen a bunch of different ways that people have elected to pull the battery. This one's a bit of an older route, but checks out. Marketolo coming face to face with an Ion. This is an interesting situation because Corrupt likes to take the turbo engine, meaning that he's going to have positioning and be able to deny Ronin the fight. And with the Vortex Shield, he's going to be able to mitigate a lot of damage. The issue is, however, and I say that as he dashes towards the Ronin, now he's face to face against Ronin, who has a ton of core already. Running out of energy, decides to throw a punch. Corrupt throwing a lot of aggressive actions towards Marketolo, and that's going to definitely be the end of the Ion, provided that Marketolo actually gets the melees together. Gets the dude, gets another swing. Another swing will actually put Corrupt in the ground. 2-0 lead for Marketolo. Showing that the old dog still got some tricks. Again, I'm so surprised that Corrupt opted to pick that many aggressive options in a row. As Ion, you want to mitigate damage, you need to deal damage to Ronin, and you need to back out. He has the turbo engine. He's able to play defensively. But instead, he tries to take the heads-up fight versus Marketolo. Marketolo, no stranger to this matchup. Again, he's a well-practiced Ronin, but again, not currently.
We're doing great, team.
More than likely, Corrupt is either going to pick the Monarch, I assume, or the Ronin himself. And Marketolo is gonna select a tone? Very interesting decision coming up from Marketolo. This is the first tone that we're gonna see on the challenger side. Marketolo gonna pull his battery as Corrupt has already gotten hits. Unfortunately, Marketolo got a bit of a bad disembark, but he's gonna have no problems getting back in. Marketolo coming face to face with the Ronin. Marketolo definitely knows this match. The Dragon Rider curve, however, was not on the mark. Instantly firing rockets. The thing with this matchup is that you have the hard mind game versus Ronin, and now Marketolo is stuck reloading in front of Corrupt. Corrupt has no arc wave, but he's going to be more than happy to just way up the particle wall. Marketolo expending too much of his shots. That means Corrupt is going to be able to round this corner and look for aggression. But Corrupt a little slow on the draw. Marketolo has the, unfortunately, another bad tracking rocket timing. However, great timing with particle wall. That's going to display a lot of aggression. Again, I don't like the timing that Marketolo keeps throwing these rockets at. Because he keeps throwing rockets immediately, Corrupt's able to block all of them or dodge them. Just like another one. Corrupt just going to wait up the melee boxes. He's going to try to put Marketolo down. Unfortunately, that was a bad melee, but the Sabo core wasn't bunched up enough. Meaning that he's not going to be able to find the return damage he needs. Marketolo's going to fall down, as he is the one that's on the receiving end of the Ronin beatdown. Marketolo going to continue on. More than likely going to rotate picks, I'd imagine. And he does. He goes back to the Ronin. He's going to get the battery, and he will be able to re-embark for free. Again, no goosters here. Straight up, just a 1v1 in the Titans. Ronin Mirror is the call. does try to go for an aggressive punch. Unfortunately, Marketel doesn't just block the arc wave, so that trade is overall going to be for Corrupt. He has shield advantage. Corrupt playing aggressively with his slight shield advantage. Marketel not throwing enough melees, I think, and matter of fact, he's not blocking enough either, meaning that the lead wall damage is going to add up. Great shot from Corrupt again. The return damage on Marketel is not been landing on its mark. That arc wave will display aggression, so he will get this reload. Great job from Corrupt, shutting down the push with that arc wave. But again, we can see it. Just the amount of melee damage that Corrupt has landed so far in this 1v1 has been phenomenal. Great box, another great box, and it will be the turnaround for Marketel with the sword core. There, he gets another one. Neutral face to come down there and fight outright. However, Marketel will get doomed, and Corrupt will also be doomed as well. So technically with the advantage, he has the anomaly kit. But now both Titans are going to have all their cooldowns available. Marketel tries to find an arc over the wall, arc wave for arc wave, but however, Marketel is the one that will land. That'll give him a nice chunk of health over Corrupt. That's good. Doesn't look for the reverse phase melee, and somehow he still survives. Corrupt tried to go all in there. 3, 4 shotgun shots expended. Corrupt not looking to shoot back. Instead, trying to just all in. Marketel again. Doesn't find it. Takes the reload in front of Corrupt. Marketel, are you going to finish the job? Miss. Miss again. Arcwave will find the mark with a pixel in a dream. Marketel will emerge victorious over Corrupt in the Ronin mirror. Marketel will join side of the winners. 3-1 being the score. Very close final round that was just played. Good game to him. And we're going to immediately bring up our next challenger. We have another of the Xbox Old Guard coming up. Obviously, this event's on Xbox, so of course a lot of Xbox players are going to show up. I mean, simple logic, right? With that, we have Mr. Bernadotte03. This time, we're going to change our spectating side. We're going to spectate the man, the one who is the owner of the cage, Corrupt. As we wait for Burn to show up into the lobby. As I've stated before, there are no breaks. And there he is, Bernadotte, showing up to the plate. And this time, we're going to be riding with Corrupt. Bernadotte versus Corrupt is now the matchup. Again, Corrupt has, credit to Corrupt. Corrupt has shown up. He's played. He's been doing well for himself. But we could kind of see how there was, while he was very confident in the Ronin duel versus Marketel, the Sword Core actually turned it around. That one's got to do a little bit of mental damage to him, but he's only a little bit halfway through this Kumite, I believe. So he's still got a lot more opponents to go. His next opponent, of course, Bernadotte. Bernadotte, a longtime veteran, played both Xbox and PC. Also around on the Lighthouse Discord, special shoutouts to them. Playing on Rebalance, playing all different sorts of formats. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Bernadotte has just almost seen it all. Corrupt going to select a tone early. He likes to select a tone round one, interestingly enough. But with Sonar, couldn't find what he was looking for. And it's going to be burned immediately with the Ronin. Corrupt now going to be on the receiving end of what Marketel had to deal with. Tracking rockets incoming. Bernadotte does block them or avoid them. Corrupt not going to be able to find some damage, but however, Bernadotte is not able to make ground on the tome. He will be able to now because this tone is now stuck. Great tracking rocket, but great tracking rocket timing to catch the arc wave gets punished. Bernadotte not kind of playing to his level right now, making some very basic mistakes against Tone. Tone tries to play aggressive, but the problem is that Tone is playing aggressive towards the Ronin. The Ronin's going to get Sword Core online, and again, this is the problem with putting Turbo Engine in the 1v1 situation. You're not going to have Salvo Core, meaning that you're not going to be able to deal with the Sword Coring Ronin, and the Sword Coring Ronin is going to be the thing that puts him down. Despite the early mistakes, Bernadette will take the first round.
Pilot on board. Welcome back.
We're going to move right on. We got our second round coming right up. We're going to see, we're going to have another Ronin mirror, and it will be Corrupt locking in the Ronin. Again, as I stated before, I told you guys earlier, Striders are very prevalent in the 1v1 meta. But interestingly enough, I think we may have seen all of Corrupt's picks. He hasn't picked the North Star. Actually, he actually selected the Legion once. And it will be, the receiving end of the matchup. Bernadette, good luck. This is easily one of the more rougher matchups in Titanfall 2. One arc wave down, shotgun shot, second arc wave. Great combo from Corrupt. Actually going to take away the particle wall. And do a ton of shotgun damage. Does get hit by some partial tracking rockets. Bernadette more than likely is going to have to take a reload around this corner and try to mitigate distance away from the Ronin. But the problem is that even if Corrupt is down a phase, he has a ton of core to himself. Great shotgun shots coming off from Corrupt, hitting Bernadette square in the face. Tries to mitigate those rockets, but has to block them. Regardless, not a whole lot of damage. Now it's going to be Burn versus Corrupt. Arc Wave combo. Burn hasn't caught on to the Arc Wave combos that Corrupt likes to do. Punch for punch. Salvo Core coming out. Bernadette doesn't even opt to stall the Salvo Core. Instead, Arc Wave melee, which should do the job. And it will eventually seal the deal. Corrupt almost got ripped there, but he decides to play patient. He knows how much health he's got. And he will deal onto others as others have done to him. Corrupt, even in an up, this first to one.
Pilot control initiated. Focus. Plan. Attack.
I said it before and I say it again, and I'm gonna sound like a broken record. Striders are very good in ones. They are very difficult to deal with. And we saw it there, just the Ronin just beating up the Tone. Corrupt gonna select the Monarch for himself. Gonna count on Burn to switch towards the Ronin. Well, I've said that Striders are difficult to deal with, and it's mainly due to the fact of how much presence they have on the map due to their movement. Monarch is a very good answer into the Ronin specifically, but if it's not a Ronin, it might be a rough time for Burn, but Burn is on the Ronin. Burn has to look for an all-in here because the more time that Monarch gets her cooldowns back, the harder time that Ronin will have to close the distance. Burn does look for the all-in, doesn't dodge the second siphon. Arcwave will land. Great shotgun shots, however. He got most of the Monarch shields off. Oh, this is considered to be a bad matchup for Ronin. If Ronin can hold Silver with enough health, he can still win the game. Great movement from Corrupt, backing away from the Ronin, denying the fight. Bernadette looking for an all-in. Gets the arc wave. Now he's forced to deal with this Ronin at point blank. Great spread use of abilities. The problem is that Corrupt is running out of ammo. He's running in front of the Ronin. Ronin has Sword Core. Can look for an aggressive all-in here. Sword Core incoming. The problem is that Corrupt actually has the smooth moves. Nice quad dash. Bernadette looking 2 different melees. That's going to cost him a lot of health. Doesn't find the Doom just yet. Gets through now. Corrupt with the upgrade core. Corrupt trying to go in for the melees. Can't find it. But despite what the life bar is saying, all in incoming. Phase rip. Bernadette look in the right direction. Unfortunate. Burn will be the one that gets ripped and kicked down. Corrupt with the lead over Bernadette. I will say, as a dude who knows Bernadette personally, when Bernadette is on it, he's on it. He feels confidence in himself. He plays very well. The downside is that the opposite is also true. When he sometimes gets in his own head, and when you miss something like that, you might feel a little bit of tilt. But we're going to see if Bernard can keep it together. Corrupt locking in the Ronin for this final round. Potentially. Corrupt. Getting the battery. Other battery also taken. More than likely, both players have locked in their respective Ronins, and it will be the Ronin Merrick. Bernard playing aggressively. Great dodge on the Arc Wave. Matter of fact, we'll get all of Corrupt's shields. Great block from Burn as well. Burn, another player that has actually trained against a phenomenal amount of Ronins, opts to use his phase, surprisingly there. He's getting punished by Corrupt for not having that cooldown available, not able to mitigate any of that damage. Corrupt actually goes for the back and forth, but now Corrupt's going to be the one without the phase. Tries to look for the melee. Burn, are you going to look for a melee or Arc Wave? No, there's the Arc Wave. There comes the shotgun shots. Circle for Torcore is now inbound. Torcore pop, Corrupt plays patient. Corrupt actually takes mid respectively. Tries to find the melee on the Burn. Burn gets a great melee. Tries to find an Arc Wave, doesn't find it. Burn is now stuck in the middle. Great Arc Wave from Burn. Can't circle around, look for the rip. He doesn't find the combo actually. Instead opts to play his lead. It will be Corrupt that has to make the play. Burn just gonna happily shoot him down. Tries to go for an aggressive melee. That almost costed him the round if Corrupt got 2 more crits. He's gonna look to turn it around, but regardless, Bernadot cleans it up. Wins the Ronin Mirror for himself. Now, of course, similar to a lot of games, you know, should explain some things. Similar to a lot of games, we've all got that one specific mirror match that always happens. Okay? Titanfall 2 is definitely the Ronin Mirror. And of course, we've had the different maps that people like to play for one of the ones. We've seen the Rust, the Guardian, whichever map you prefer. We are on Boomtown. That is our equivalent of Rust for Titans. But I should stop talking. We're gonna talk more about this final round that's happening. Corrupt switching back to the Ronin. And Bernadot selected the Ion. This is something he told me he wanted to do, is that he was gonna pick Ion into Corrupt's Ronin. And we're gonna see, and he may do on his word. The problem, however, is that he has to go up against a Ronin. Corrupt not using his phase, opting to just barrel through the tripwire. And he eats 2 Arc Waves for his trouble. Now, Corrupt for sure has a ton of core, but that laser shot crit did a ton of damage! Bernadot, however, is low on juice. Sword core incoming. Bernadot trying to punch for his life. Great melee box coming off the Burn. Great tripwire coming off the Burn as well. Laser core incoming. Corrupt doesn't look for the rip. Instead, he'll play his life. Surprisingly enough, doesn't get Doom from the laser core. Tries to find an Arc Wave to get the Doom, but can't find it either. Both Titans are so low, but Ronin still has the advantage in this matchup. Laser is good. The problem now is that Burn doesn't really have much options to go with where he chose to position. Corrupt tries to find the same shotgun shot that against the Tone earlier, but can't seem to seal the deal. Face boost incoming. Bernadot does get the Doom on the Ronin, but now he has to save himself. 1 Arc Wave is thrown. Ooh, tried to punish Corrupt for popping the tripwires, but not going to be able to do it. Has to be careful, because if Burn does get doomed, he will get phase rip. Phase rip is on the table. Burn still has his dash. Has to reload the spinner rifle. 2 more shotgun shots from Corrupt. Tripwires are in play. Tripwires are down. Tripwires are going to come back out relatively soon for Bernadot. So we could potentially look at a draw between these 2 players. Corrupt opting to just sit and wait in this corner. He knows exactly where Burn is. He can hear him because Titans are very loud. He's trying to look through this small little peek hole. He's trying to see if he can spot out Bernadot. It seems that both players have elected to go for a draw. No aggressive all-in. Bernadot hanging around Grandma so that way he can't get Arc Wave. He fell down. He can get Arc Wave now. 1 Arc Wave comes out. Second Arc Wave can be thrown because there's no tripwires in play. Bernadot already used his dash. He's going to get another Arc Wave. Corrupt looking for the all-in. And it went instead! Wow, he tried to get all-in, but it almost turned the tables and eviscerated him with the laser core rip. Phenomenal clutch decision-making for Burn. Corrupt wanted it all to make the statement, but he will get put down. Huge swing from Bernadot. able to clutchly punch out the sword core. And then able to survive and keep himself in the game. Gets the rip, gets the win. Just barely. And as I said before, format is first to one. And we got a phenomenal player coming up. We have the one, the only LSD. I believe LSD has, in fact, I believe he won the Xbox Roulette 1v1. Matter of fact, he won that tournament with a broken wrist. Fun fact. And now he's going to go up against Corrupt. This is going to be another uphill for Corrupt. LSD, a master at many different Titans. A phenomenal player in his own right. But even if Corrupt may be the underdog, he is not out of it. Again, we've seen Corrupt be able to take it against names like 360. We've seen him be able to take it against pretty much everybody. He's had a lot of very close sets, but unable to find it. We're going to see if we can find it here, as LSD already selecting the Ronin. LSD begins to make his approach, tries to find a long-range let wall. He's not going to be down a shot. So I'm going to have to back up and take a reload, but the problem is now he is stuck in this area against Ronin, and Ronin is just sprinting, acknowledging that Corrupt will not hold the area. LSD already making the charge in, Corrupt in the back of the map, gonna find some cheeky damage, does find a decent amount of tracking rocket damage due to those not being blocked. Again, this is the benefit of Turbo Engine, is that early on you can deny Ronin the fight. Great movement from Corrupt, however LSD movement more likely gonna come up here. No, instead, takes the long way. LSD hasn't used any Earthquake yet, he will not get baited. Great crouch check shotgun shot, that was more likely was gonna crit, and that's gonna build Sword Core. And eventually, we all know how it goes. One tone enters, one tone dies. Ronin coming out on top in the matchup that he's supposed to win. Interestingly enough, it has been, I believe, only Corrupt that has won the Tone v Ronin matchup. Lawless Guy probably still feeling the loss of that one, but that's how it is. LSD will put him down for one round. And that will be how that story goes. And it's going to be Corrupt swapping to the Monarch. If I imagine LSD as a player who will not run the same Titan twice. I think LSD is more than likely already ahead of the game, and he is going to swap picks. I believe he picked that Ronin purely because, as a challenger, you're allowed to spectate. We've seen Corrupt time and time again. He has this set order of picks where he'll pick the... No, actually, LSD, never mind, I am completely wrong. LSD opts to select the Ronin again. LSD trying to end this stuff early. However, the double siphon coming out from Corrupt is great, but he isn't able to retreat from Ronin, so Ronin's going to get a decent amount of damage to himself. Doesn't mitigate that much for the Echo 16. He has to take a reload here. The shotgun shots in the back will add up. Matter of fact, he's about to eat another mag. LSD understanding how aggressive he needs to play in this matchup. Not going to let Corrupt get away. Looking at melee, unfortunately, but they're not able to escape that Sword Core melee. Can't find the Doom. Sword Core melee in the Arcwave will put the Monarch down. Corrupt unable to get away. Unfortunately, couldn't get the Doom with the rocket salvo. So close, yet so far.
Half time.
Yet, those decisions, all those little tiny things, those little decisions all matter in the 1v1 because it is just straight you and your opponent. And now LSD has a huge lead. Going up a 2-0 over Corrupt.
Pull it together, 6-4. Regroup, team up, and give him hell.
You wanna go with Corrupt? Corrupt has always selected this Ronin last. He likes to save what he thinks is the best for last. Gonna get this battery for himself. Gonna find his way back in as well. Rodent Mirror is the call. LSD just rocking straight Ronin the entire way. We've seen him do it. Honestly, to me, one of the more efficient Ronin players. He run defense on offense, and we can see it here how well he's moving around this middle section of the map. Comboing his abilities well. Corrupt looking, honestly, just straight up lost and outplayed. Only now getting LSD shield. Swordcore activated. Swordcore movement is better. And as a matter of fact, LSD is here to make a statement. Nice juke on the melee. Only then did he take a slight amount of damage. That might as well have been a perfect. LSD coming up huge. Putting down Corrupt, the first shutout of the event from the challenger side. 3-0. Huge props to LSD for coming out and playing. Matter of fact, Corrupt didn't even want to use he didn't believe even in his Doom bar anymore. But that is gonna be the end of that. I'm gonna move on. We're gonna get our next challenger up to bat. And here he is. We have Krub. Krub. I'm not officially sure if Krub has actually officially played any tournaments, but regardless, he's another old Xbox player. Krub is mainly stayed on more of the public match side of things, but I believe he actually has played like a few scrims in his time. Again, Krub is an older name, but I haven't seen him play a 1v1 ever. So similar to Ustream, we're in for a whole new experience. Krub versus Corrupt? It begins. Corrupt, I'm going to select the tone. Again, as I said before, it seems that Corrupt has a game plan in mind for this Kumite. He's had a lot of time to prepare, and he seems very confident in his abilities. So he decided to select the tone first, then go into the Monarch, or the On, and then after that save Ronin for last. Corrupt on top of the barricade, unfortunately misses the Sonar Pulse. And it will be Corrupt on the Legion. Another Legion we've seen come out. Corrupt. Gonna get some nice tracking rocket shots as well as a lock-on coming out. Gonna definitely try to hit Krub. Krub more than likely gonna have to expend that gun shield. Krub dashing around the corner aggressively. The problem is that he's coming face down with the Legion. However, Krub doesn't play any of the power shots, so he's just gonna eat a ton of return damage. Oh, unfortunately, Krub not able to get that much value out of the Legion so far, and it will be Corrupt with the salvo crawler with full health, preemptively throwing the wall. Even if he preemptively threw the wall, I don't know if Krub is going to be able to come back into this round. If Krub does around the corner at some point, he gets a power shot. Sure, he'll get the damage, but the problem is that even if he does, salvo core is in play. Krub opts to push aggressively. He does run a Krub. Krub was sprinting, so he wasn't ready. Krub gonna have to use his shield to block that damage, but Corrupt will aggressively push around. He'll eat 2 power shots to his name, but a few more steps, and for sure that Legion is dead. Instead, smart disengage from Krub, actually starting to make his way back in. Krub didn't opt to put the Legion down, but now Salvatore comes up, and Salvatore comes down, and Corrupt doesn't find the mark, but the tracking rockets will do the job for him. One round on the board for Corrupt.
Pilot on board. Welcome back.
Moving on, we got another round coming up. It's going to be Corrupt on the Ion this time. Of course, both players opted to get their batteries and get back in. Corrupt opted to run the turbo engine. We've seen him, again, he prefers these turbo engine style gameplay. While core is not particularly important for Ion, until we've seen him how it's hurted him. But this time it's going to be another Ion mirror. And it will be Corrupt actually finding that laser shot. He's going to take a small lead over Corrupt. Corrupt's now the one down in life. He has to make the aggressive play, but it will actually be Corrupt that walks up. Tries to see if he can find a laser shot on a Corrupt, and he does. Corrupt, unfortunately, got hit by some latency there, being a factor. Had the vortex up, but still got hit. The classic. Tripwire for tripwire, laser shot for laser shot. Meanwhile, however, it's Corrupt so far with the life lead. Corrupt trying to make his way up and around this corner. Punch is good. Laser shot is better. Another laser shot as well. Corrupt is going to have the laser core online. Ops to pop it. Laser core duel is engaged. Corrupt is definitely going to come out on top. Just barely. Things looked a little bit sketchy as he missed the first part of the laser core on the activation. But he has more than enough health from winning the 1v1 earlier.
Half time.
And that is going to be one round for Corrupt.
The Ronin sword transferred to pilot.
So here we are. We've got Corrupt locking in the Legion. Legion coming up to play. We've seen him pull it up a few times, but I believe the few times he's pulled it out, he usually pulled it out in either the mirror match. I wonder what the thought process is actually between him picking this Legion. He doesn't like to pick it against Strider-based Titans. He likes to pick it against the we've seen the Legion mirror a few times. Maybe he's hoping for an Ion, or maybe he's hoping for a North Star. I'm not sure. Opts for an aggressive dash power shot early. Was able to find it. Tried another one. Definitely is aware of where our friend Crub is on the map. Crub's coming, and Crub actually catches the power shot. Huge reflect already out the gate. Legion v Ion, an oldest time matchup. Unfortunately, Corrupt misses the second power shot, and because he misses it, that's gonna be a lot of damage he doesn't get. He unfortunately doesn't get a third one either. Laser core is out, and he's gonna get put down. All three power shots don't find the mark. Ion gets one good reflect, and due to the fact that Ion got that one good reflect, some tripwire damage, splitter laser, Corrupt is actually just going to take the heads-up fight and win it. He's not going to complain. He's going to be sitting at a comfortable 2-1 lead. And now it is up to Corrupt. Is he going to keep sticking with the Ion, or will he switch? We've seen Corrupt here. Corrupt likes to save his best for last. He's going to select the Ronin. And here it comes. Another Ronin pick for Corrupt. Corrupt getting back in. We'll take mid. Likely by the pull. It is likely a larger Titan, I'd imagine. Oh, actually, it is the Atlas. Arc Wave is good to punish the melee. Grub, definitely on the losing end of the side of the matchup, and as well as health. Grub tried to find the laser shot there, but unfortunately gets punished by the level off for his trouble. Grub taking this time. Through an Arc Wave, unfortunately whiffed, but I'm surprised how patient Corrupt is playing given how much of a lead he just has. play very aggressively into Corrupt here at this point. He still has over half his overshield. Instead, opting to take his time, respects Corrupt, I should say. And it will be Corrupt that's going to be forced into the back of the map. Fortunately, Corrupt, this is a melee. Corrupt does find another melee, but the health advantage is adding up so much in Corrupt's favor. It does find a good laser shot. Sword Core is now incoming. Corrupt takes a reload. Instead, opt to preserve the Sword Core, surprisingly. Corrupt tried to look for an aggressive melee. Decides to use the Arc Wave. Catches the Arc Wave plus Sword Core melee. Another Sword Core melee is good. A third one, it will seal the deal for the Sword Core plus Arc Wave combo. So instead, he won the race.
Welcome back, pilot.
2-2 is now the score. We're going into another final round. Royal will be coming up for Corrupt, and we're going to see what Crub opts to take. If I'm not mistaken, Crub mainly plays the... Again, I'm very surprised. I haven't seen him in a long time because Crub, from what I remember, plays the Legion and he plays the North Star, but said he's opting to select his Ion. Crub with a bit of a slow pull, Corrupt opting to just wait. Corrupt playing up. And it will be... Survey says... Still hasn't spotted him, but he's heard him. Understands the Titan is in the rubble direction, and it will be the Legion. We saw earlier when Crub was faced against a Legion of Person's caliber, Person was the one that did him in, despite the strong start. We're up taking his time, ADSing with the sword block. Not sure what the plan is for Corrupt. Is he slowly getting chipped down? Level up plus our quick combo. One power shot comes out. Rob doesn't opt to use the other one yet. Oh, Grub takes a bad reload in front of the row and gets a star power shot as well. Unfortunate opportunity from Crub. He's down a lot of health in this matchup. Great block with the gun shield, however. Crub might look to play aggressively around this corner. No, he doesn't look for the aggressive power shot. Instead, no, if you find that one, sword for incoming melee. He has to activate in front of a Legion who's hurting him. Doom for Doom, punch, doesn't find it, tries for twice, tries for a third time. Unfortunately, Crub hopes and dreams. He tried to reach out. Gets put down by the Arc Wave. Crub tried his best, but just barely couldn't make it. Corrupt with a clutch win. Another 2-2 final round situation. But that's going to be the end of Crub. Moving on, as stated before, there's still no brakes on the train. We have to go get our next opponent immediately. And our next opponent will be none other than Alpha Zone Boxing Audric.
It's the time.
My bad. I accidentally invited you to the party.
I will leave party. Bye bye.
Okay, my bad. I accidentally invited Audric to the party instead of the game. Misclick, but you know, it is what it is. Regardless, here he is in the lobby. As I stated before, there's going to be a lot of Xbox old guards. Audric is one of them. Audric, of course, notorious for playing on beta sub-roster known as Alpha. Alpha consisted of a bunch of different beta team members, including JKit74. Donut Man was on that roster at one point as well. And I think 360 also played for them once. They had kind of a rotating door of sub-members, consisting of Beta being one of the best Xbox Titanfall 2 teams to ever do it. Shouts to, you know, Dino D. But we're going to see what Audric has to bring to the table, because Audric has not been that active lately. Well, we saw the Person's Ronin. Person's Ronin was actually able to take it over Corrupt. We're going to see if Audric can look to do the same as his predecessor. Overall, that trade is Corrupt's favorite, and now the Ronin duel continues on. Audric's very aggressive with the melees, but these melees have been getting punished time and time again. Great box, great shots. Audric does get the Sword Core, unfortunately whiffs the melee. Audric versus Corrupt in the Sword Core duel now. Gets the Arcwave punish, does get the Doom, however, double Arcwave is good. It tries to delay block Audric, and Audric will come out on top on the Sword Core duel! Beta and Alpha showing that they got a bunch of Ronin players too. By all means, Audric is not a Ronin main. He can play it, and he's been trained by some people, but it's definitely not his main comfort pick. But here he is. He's taking it to Corrupt. He's already up around, and we're going to see if he can continue the train. The thing is, however, is that while Audric... Oh, actually, never mind. I was going to say Corrupt could look to select Monarch and give Audric a bit of a harder time, but instead, he's going to continue playing Ronin. He's not convinced about that round win, and he's feeling a certain type of way and wants to run it back. Fighting community, we have a phenomenal term for stuff like this. We call it the salty runback. Corrupt clearly feeling a certain type of way, opts to play aggressively into Audric. Gets all the shields off in one go, punishing a lot of melees. Again, Audric's been very aggressive with the melees, takes a lot of damage for himself. Now he's already high half. Again, another melee coming out from Audric. 4 shots come out. Sword Core activated from Corrupt, but Audric trying to get away. Great melee boxes, doesn't activate Sword Core until it was too late. Couldn't find the return melee. Corrupt opting to back away, but Corrupt tries to keep doing these aggressive positioning to bait melees, but hasn't been able to successfully evade them. Regardless, Audric will dash back in, eat the Arc Wave, eat the Sword Core melee, and that's going to be the end of Audric's Ronin. 1-1 is the set score between these two players.
Transferring controls to pilot.
Here we are, 1-1 between these two players. Corrupt just straight up opting to select the Ronin. More than likely, both these players might just run straight Ronin the entire time. Both players have successfully embarked into their Titans, and now they're going to opt to just fight mid. We've seen this time and time again. This is a classic that Lord Zia and I both enjoy. Audric using the arrows, gets one melee off. That's already a huge advantage for him. Unfortunately, misses the Arc Wave. That's coming up from Corrupt. Phase melee in fact. More melees coming up from Audric. Again, Audric has been very aggressive with these melees. Tries to find another one. Gets the first shot, gets an Arc Wave. Actually, Audric right now is the one that's actually taking it to Corrupt with the lead so far. Audric again with another aggressive melee, but that will get punished. Shots coming out from Audric. Again, Audric has been throwing so many melees. He's still throwing melees. You could swear that the sword is the primary weapon. Speaking of primary weapons, the sword is about to be the primary weapon for Corrupt. Corrupt's gonna try to find the Doom here with this next swing. Does get it. Audric boxing for his life. Sword Core incoming from Audric. Ooh, Corrupt again. He opts to play this specific aggressive style way, and every time he's tried, he's gotten hit for it. Almost gets the Doom, but regardless, Corrupt's still in a phenomenal spot. Tries to all in Audric. Audric again with another melee. Audric was insane play coming up from Odrick. You gotta be feeling a certain type of way here, Corrupt. Both players definitely feeling the tension here. Odrick absolutely robbing that round from Corrupt, from the break. He comes back. He gets the face rip. As I've stated time and time again, Corrupt he just keeps ego challenging. There's no other words for it. He keeps ego challenging in these positions where he knows he will get hit, and instead of respecting the space, he decides to stand there, and he gets hit for it. Doesn't land a return punish. Instead, I imagine what's going through his mind is just, I got hit by that, and that's what happens when you disrespect your opponent's space. Corrupt versus Odrick continues. Odrick in the lead. Odrick gonna take his box again. The boxing of Odrick. Double Arc Wave is phenomenal by Corrupt. Again, Odrick is throwing so many melees, and even though he's getting punished, there has been no adjustment. He will still continue with the sword. Shotgun shots miss. Odrick already down 90%. Gonna do his best to survive, but there's no surviving this time. Odrick will eventually fall down to Corrupt, and Corrupt will even up the round count. Here we are. Final round. Again between these two players. We had so many different 2-2s. And we've seen this tale as old as time. Another Ronin mirror. Corrupt with a fantastic disembark. Gonna get this battery relatively fast. Gonna get back in as well. Here comes Box. Here comes Corrupt. Arc Waves are traded this time. Melee once. Melee twice. However, it's going to be Odrick. Never mind. Odrick winning the trade, I think, slightly. Actually, no, I'm not sure. No, actually, Titans are relatively even in health. Arc Wave for Arc Wave. Sword Core for Sword Core. Odrick is slightly more health than Corrupt. But Corrupt's going to find that swing. But Odrick won't find the return box. Odrick won't get baited. Uses phase. Corrupt does not want to interact with Odrick here. The last few times he's lost the melee war. Odrick has thrown the Arc Wave, has thrown some shotgun shots his way. That Arc Wave is going to get... Actually, that Arc Wave did find value, surprisingly. Shotgun shots right back. Phase for phase. Arc Waves both miss. Both players are clinging on for dear life. Odrick aggressively turns the corner. Corrupt is going to look to do the same thing from across. Both Ronas are one shot. 4 shotgun shots expected from Corrupt. Odrick can look for an Arc Wave over the wall, doesn't look for it. Instead, opts to play patient. He might look for a dash peek here. Arc Wave comes out. Arc Wave doesn't find justice. He can look. Corrupt can dash shot him for sure, and Corrupt will put down Box. In a surprising turn of events, Odrick actually was beating Corrupt, but not able to close it out. Overall, great showing from Odrick, all things considered. Again, Odrick doesn't even seriously play Ronin. But you gotta be ready. As a Ronin player, you gotta be ready for all these different styles of opponents you have to fight. Speaking of different styles, we have to go find our next opponent. It is Mr. and as an old name. I have to type his name because he had just signed up for this event. The one, the only, M. Wild. Give me a second. I have to enter his name in on Xbox. I have to fight it. I do have to find him. Wild, if you were in the stream chat, please let me know if I added the right person, and I actually did. It is in fact him. He is real. And here he is. Holy moly. You want to talk about some old names? This is one of the oldest names in Titanfall 2. Wild has decided to step up to the plate and play. Now, I'm gonna be honest. Back in his day, now of course I sound like an old man. I'm playing this game for 7 years now. Back in his day, Wild used to be one of my OG duelist partners. Playing the North Star, playing the Ronin, playing the Tone. There's 3 main picks. But Ronin has drastically evolved since Wild had stopped playing. On top of that, if you don't know, Wild plays from the UK. Meaning that he is also very far away. Wild just here to enter this event for the lulz, pretty much. But we're going to see is Corrupt ready to take him on. Sonar early. Does actually find 1 pulse to his name. What is Wild elected to pick? Tone Mirror in the Kumite. This is one of my favorite mirror matches. The Tone Mirror specifically tests a lot of mechanical timing as well as technical skill. Wild opting to just get locked on. He's going to eat that tracking rocket salvo. Now the difference here is that Wild has the overcore, whereas Corrupt has the turtle engine. So Corrupt will have the neutral advantage overall. Tracking rockets come out. Wild not avoiding that much damage. Instead opting to just outright fight Corrupt. Tracking rockets exchange. Tracking rocket wall, however, used on the wall. Tracking rocket incoming. Wild has salvo core. Salvo core's going to get popped. And that's going to be Corrupt not dead. Corrupt will fall out. Wild still got it. I cannot believe. Wild still showing that he got it with the Tone. Actually takes it over Corrupt in the Tone Mirror. Corrupt tried to play very aggressively towards the overcore Tone. Again, a bit more of an old-fashioned playstyle, but he won the fight still. He still remembers. Despite not playing this game in years, more than likely, his body remembers. Corrupt, this time I'm going to select the Ion, and I'm curious if Wild is still going to stick with the Tone. Corrupt waiting. Trying to see. Wild actually pulls out the Scorch! We have a Scorch pick in the Kumite! The absolute bottom tier of the game, pulling up, but Corrupt sticking a little close. Wild opted to just barrel through his fire. Matter of fact, Wild, I just realized, has tempered plating on. And Wild opted to just burn it down. He's still chasing Corrupt. Yep, here he is. Wild unfortunately misses that shot. Wild trying his best, still trying to close the distance, but the laser core now comes online. Corrupt can just dash around the corner and end it off. Instead, Corrupt playing patient. Despite that early aggression, Wild has not dealt that much damage, but we all know Wild. Wild is here to make you feel bad. He's not here to win. He just wants to make sure that he is known. Corrupt tried to get the rip, misses it, but the laser core will come in and it will finally put down the Scorch. Unfortunately, Scorch is not a very good Titan. There are a few players who can truly bring out his potential at once. But what can you do? Wild tried, and he died. But Wild probably has the biggest balls out of anybody who has entered this Kumite so far. Actually locking in the Scorch pick for a round. Here we are, we're going to move on Corrupt. Locking in the Monarch this time. As much as I want to see Wild lock into Scorch again, and I'm sure everyone else would, more than likely Wild saw that round and he's just like, alright, I'll play something, I'll actually play something. But I'm kind of curious what Wild will lock in. He can opt to pick the Ronin, he can opt to pick the North Star, he can opt to pick the Tone again. And Corrupt is going to come face to face with Wild, having a bit of a hard time getting back in his Titan. Wild playing Ion! I'm going to be fully honest, I have never seen Wild ever play Ion in my life. Wild taking the straight up fight, actually does get the Monarch shield off, so that's actually pretty huge for him. Ooh, a missed Siphon from Corrupt. Corrupt might be getting tired here, actually. The Kumite is a true test of endurance. And the thing with Wild is that Wild has played a ton of 1v1s in his day. He has the laser core online. He understands Corrupt is out of ammo. Corrupt with the smooth moves. Wild's trying his best to aim, but unfortunately can't find it. Laser core should have did him in, but it won't. Now Wild is going to be along the back end as Corrupt has the arc rounds. That's going to drain the Vortex shield, and he has a whole extra bar of health because of upgrade core. Shot bring down. Siphon. Punch. Alright, Corrupt is standing at East Smoke. He's taking a lot of damage. He needs to be careful not to get doomed. Great Siphon by Corrupt to not get doomed. Tries to get a punch for the Doom. Doesn't fight it. Wild actually comes in and tries to punch him back. But Wild will be the one to die. Corrupt now up 2 rounds. A little bit of rust with the laser core there. Had Wild been able to lock down the target, the Monarch would have fallen down.
So handed to you, pilot.
We're winning, but not by much. Let's show them 6-4.
Now, Corrupt locking in the Ronin. Again, we've seen the consistent pattern. Corrupt always locks in the Ronin last. Wild has a bit of a hill to climb. But, despite being rusty, Wild is out here putting up a fight and a half. Corrupt on the Ronin. Now the matchup is Tone v Ronin. Wild actually knows this matchup. The problem is that, even if you know the matchup, it is Tone versus Ronin. Corrupt gonna all in for the Tone right now. One arc wave is down, but the problem is he doesn't have a second arc wave to continue. Wild doesn't have to stick next to the particle wall, but regardless, the actual overall damage trade is not bad for Tone. However, the problem is that, actually, never mind, the problem is Corrupt missed too many shotgun shots there. He's gonna get Sword Core very late, and he's gonna get punished for that activate as well. Wild gets the melee, gets Doom, Sword Core, Arc Wave, and that's gonna be the end of the deal. Wild tried his best, but Wild will, unfortunately, fall down. But it was nice to see him. Surprisingly enough, Wild of all people had decided to just pull up and play the Kumite. Hopefully we get to see maybe someday his grand return. But he lives. He lives. Alright, moving on. We will be getting our next opponent in the lobby. we are going to have Reaper stepping up to the plate. Reaper, of course, played for another old team known as TH&M. TH&M consisted of himself, I believe Maple Moron was on that team, Flamethrower with respect with his own numbers, also on that roster, Cool Raspy Hobbit, and Crashing Joker 58. Wild, technically, I should also mention Wild was his teammate as well at one point. But here we are. Can the Reaper reap the corrupted? Can he get vengeance for his fallen teammate? Corrupt opting to select the Ion this time. No tone coming out from him. Typically, we've seen him lock in the tone first round every time, but this time he decides to change it up. And it will be the tone coming out from Reaper. Should mention, Reaper knows how to play. I believe his 3 main picks are actually... Maybe he can play 4, but his 3 main picks are the Ion, which is mainly what he's known for. He can play the Ronin. And the second, the last pick, I believe, would be his North Star. So I'm very surprised to see him select the tone. But we're going to see, can he take the W in this matchup? Again, this matchup is tone favored. So far, he's doing a great job not feeding the Vortex, playing patient around Ion's energy. Oh, and I say that he does feed the Vortex there, expecting a punch. Reaper does have a set of tracking rockets, Corrupt with the great awareness to get the catch. Life bars are even, but I believe that Reaper is running the overcore tone based on his movement and positioning. And he does get the Salvo Core. He can activate Salvo Core. Salvo Core goes up! And it's going to hit the Ion relatively soon. Gets the Doom, opts them for the Laser Core. Can you find the punch? No, he doesn't! He misses 3 melees in a row! Oh my goodness. Reaper tried for the rip. Doesn't find it. Laser Core, being a gigantic beam of doom, will silence him and put him into the next round. Corrupt will lead 1-0. Here comes Corrupt picking the tone for himself, and we're going to see what Reaper opts to select. It's very surprising to me that the only opposition North Star so far has been Camp. Camp tried, and Camp died, but again, we haven't seen like anyone else try for the North Star. Corrupt, aware that something is coming up on his right, and it will be Reaper's Ion this time. Corrupt with some pretty good early shots. Finds another one. Will get the lock on with the Sonar Pulse if he wants it. Doesn't opt to use it though. Instead tries to get it with the 40 mil, and he will find it. Reaper will catch those, I believe, unless he got some partials there with the rockets. No, Reaper with the overall shield advantage. And we can see Corrupt currently struggling, trying to find any damage of his own. Reaper decides to disembark, re-embark for the Ion Bug. If you disembark and re-embark with Ion, you get your energy back immediately. Corrupt opted to just barrel through tripwires, and even though he did, he found himself taking way too much damage. Corrupt has given up, understands that Reaper still has his shields, by the way. Basically perfecting Corrupt's tone.
Half time.
The reason why I put it to you that way, ladies and gentlemen that are still watching, when you still have your shields up, it doesn't add to the damage number. While you're technically doing damage, only health damage is calculated. So effectively, Reaper completely shut out Corrupt's tone. And we're going to see if he can continue on with the train. Corrupt this time opts to select the Ronin, but again, Reaper, I don't think there's any surprise picks that Corrupt could throw at Reaper that Reaper would not be ready for. The thing with Reaper is nowadays, of course, he plays on the PC. While he's not really involved in tournaments that much, and scrims that much for that either, he enjoys a comfortable life in terms of just enjoying pubs with his friends. But, ooh, what a great call from Reaper! He actually calls out Corrupt Ronin. The problem with Celery is that he's way too close to what both Arcwaves should land. Corrupt decides to, I think, incorrectly use his cooldowns, mainly due to the fact that he could have got some actual more value with the lead wall had he just chucked both the Arcwaves, because of the fact that Reaper already got hit by one. So Reaper might have the matchup advantage, but the problem is that Corrupt definitely got a lot of value with that early engagement. We're just gonna have to make it around this corner, and he will. Corrupt will take the reload, and both cooldowns shall reset. Reaper needs to get across mid as soon as possible, because Corrupt is gonna take this barrel, and he's gonna face towards Reaper for sure. Trying to see if he can find the Arcwave. Does for one. Reaper gets a reload. Corrupt not able to lock down this Monarch, and because he's not able to, he's gonna get doomed. He's probably gonna get punched. Upgrade core comes out. Upgrade core doesn't even need to be activated. And Reaper kill Reap Corrupt. Ronin Corrupt getting kicked down, put down. Matter of fact, being around down. 2-1-4. The ATX Reaper.
Sword is yours, pilot.
Reaper needs one more round. And if he gets it,
let's show them what the 6-4 can do.
he will successfully have beaten Corrupt. Corrupt not opting for the Ronin in the potential final round. Instead, opts to pick an Ion. I don't know about this one. Ion has a very tough time in 1v1s due to the fact that her matchup spread, while in team play she's phenomenal, her matchup spread in ones is not particularly amazing. But perhaps he's looking to tussle with Reaper's Ion, and instead Reaper will select the Monarch again. Probably try to call out the fact that Corrupt was going to select Ronin, but instead now Corrupt on the approach. Corrupt's going to eat some damage from the SO16, and he's going to eat a lot of damage from that E-Smoke. Reaper finally only now losing the shields. Great job from Reaper. Able to play passively, get his cooldowns back, tries to find a siphon there. Great job with the movement, able to get back around the corner, no punish from Corrupt. The Monarch still having health advantage. That siphon miss is gonna cost him a bit, but at this point he's pretty comfortable just taking the fight. The reflex have been really good. Reaper has not elected to melee cancel a single one of these siphons. He just lets them rock. And so far the reflex damage from Ion is starting to add up. Laser shot as well will do wonders to even up the health. Looking over at the third person, trying to see if we can spot a Reaper. Reaper might have, no, instead opts to go on this far right side. And we can see now that Monarch is starting to get hurt. The poke damage from Ion eventually adds up. Monarch needs to either outright fight Ion or accumulate enough siphons and make it as difficult as possible to take off her shields. Very great job from Corrupt with the dash peek. And this is another problem with Monarch. Monarch doesn't have the peak potential as other Titans has. She has more of the sustained DPS with the FO16, using siphons and such. Reaper's going to make it around the corner, but he's going to get doomed. Laser Core trying his best to find the kill. Starfires are down. Reaper losing more health. Corrupt playing very patiently. He really wants to win this round. He really wants to stay further into this game, as we're going to potentially look for another 2-2. The tripwires expire! And we all know it, we all love it. Accidental tripwire damage into laser shot for the kill. That was definitely a taste of his own medicine. But we're going to see who's ahead of the mind game this time. Is Corrupt still going to play the Ion? Or will Reaper select the Ion? We might have an Ion mirror match for once in the final round of this Kumite event. No, it's going to be the Monarch coming out from Corrupt. Maybe he's suspecting that Reaper will select the Ronin. Again, it's Titanfall 2. Similar to a lot of games, everyone has that one pocket character that a bunch of people know how to play. At this point for us, like I said before, it's Ronin. Everyone's got a pocket Ronin. Siphon comes out. Siphon finds the mark. Second Siphon hasn't found it yet. That melee will ping him on the map, so Reaper can look for an aggressive all-in, and he will actually opt to reposition, interestingly enough. This is going to be a difficult situation for Reaper to overcome. The main reason is the fact that the mark has full cooldown, so she has a free getaway, provided an arc wave doesn't land. And the other situation is that Reaper's already down half his shields. Try for the Blind Siphon. Looks like he didn't land it. Might have gotten intercepted by the ambush alley wall, if not, maybe a tree in the way. Corrupt doing his best, see if he can find any cheeky damage, because that will allow Monarch to play the health advantage. Reaper unfortunately gets siphoned again. Reaper's still playing passively. Possibly aggressive now. Arc Wave 1 lands, 4 shotgun shots land. But the problem is that he hasn't mitigated that much damage from the Monarch, and because of that, he's going to eat a ton of punishment by the X116. The X116 does not mess around, especially when you don't block it. Corrupt tries to aggressively peek Reaper. Reaper fighting with the Ronin, but the problem is that he's going to get doomed soon. Unfortunately, somehow Reaper is still not doomed, but Corrupt will aggressively around the corner, look for the Doom. He hasn't been able to find it. Actually, no, he got the Doom earlier. Sword Core is activated, but the problem is that Reaper has no phase. Corrupt looks for the punch. Tries to find another one. Great Arc Wave. Great melee as well. The problem is that Reaper has the all-in, and this all-in is not working out for him at all. And at this point, it's only a matter of time until he dies. Exo-16 will put him down. Reaper falls, and that's another win for Corrupt. Corrupt going on a short streak of his own. So now, we have what I think is a title card match here. We're going to have AKA Ray, known as Mr. Not Nova V2, come up against Corrupt. Now, if you are in TBT, you would know that these two players have history. They don't like each other, right? And this event might be the deal breaker that settles it once and for all. One person beat somebody, other person beat them, and sparks have flown in the Discord. So, with this event, it might come to an end here. Nova versus Corrupt.
Initiated. Focus. Plan. Attack.
Whoever wins this, they're gonna win a lot of bragging rights. I'd imagine both players are just gonna lock in the Ronins respectively. Nova can play a bunch of Titans, but he main boards Ronin, and instead Corrupt is gonna pick Monarch. Probably counting on Nova to select a Ronin of his own. Nova is a hard gas player. All Nova wants to do is press gas and be in your face, aggressive. He's trying to get in, and he's trying to stay in. And it will be Nova selecting the Toad ahead on the mind game. Very nice job from Nova. Matter of fact, great rockets coming out from Nova as well. Gonna get a good amount of core for himself and take out most of that Monarch shields. However, if Monarch does find the Siphon, she's gonna heal that right back up, no problem, given the fact that the Tone still has her shields available. Corrupt not able to find that one. Matter of fact, he's gonna take some damage. And now, the all-in fight is happening. Nova is hard winning over Corrupt. Salvo Core incoming. Monarch dies. Corrupt only with 4,000 damage. And some of that might have honestly just been his own eject. Nova out here trying to make the statement in front of everybody. Trying to show Corrupt that he is not on his level. And so here we go. Nova, up around. Corrupt will now select the tone. Corrupt's gonna sonar. Unfortunately, hits the grandma building. He's not gonna be able to get value out of that cooldown. And I'm honestly wondering, what did Nova opt to select? Nova actually selects the Monarch. This is a pick he's been very confident in. He's used it in scrims, he's used it in a lot of situations. As a matter of fact, as stated before, Nova is very aggressive, and he's taking that aggression straight at Corrupt's face. Corrupt splashing himself with the rockets, doing a ton of damage to himself. Has to take a reload. Monarch is already reloaded. Nova, relentless in his approach. Nova patiently waits out the melee. He has the energy piece hit on, and he takes a second round over Corrupt. Over double his damage. He's just relentlessly beating him down.
Half time.
But it is not over yet. We've seen Corrupt come back. We've seen him reverse sweep. We've seen so many things happen with this event so far. While Corrupt is down, he is not out. But it has to come down to this round victory. Corrupt, locking in the Ronin. Sticking to his previous game plan. Corrupt with a bad disembark there. And you can tell that he's getting a little flustered. And a little frustrated with the situation that's going on as he's down 0-2 against someone he really wants to beat. And it's going to be Nova with the Monarch. Gets the double siphon early. And he stands on top of the crate. This is going to mitigate any arc waves that Corrupt throws. Corrupt threw him bad melee. And now he's already down over half his health. He has that monumental hill to climb against Nova's Monarch. Has to phase. Following is a double arc kit ready. But with a double arc, he's not going to have phase. 2 punches are good. That's going to get the Doom for sure. He decides to come around the corner. And he decides to put Corrupt down for good. 3-0 decisive victory. And you know for a fact that Nova's got to be feeling himself for that one. Good stuff to Nova. Nova, he proved his words. He won 3 straight. Absolutely phenomenal play coming out from him. And he has proven that Corrupt is not on his level. Woo! That was our one beef set of the night. But we're going to move on. We have one final challenger. Matter of fact, it is someone who signed up as the event was going on. Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce the one, the only, if you would kindly stop typing in my Twitch chat and actually show up. There he is. The head of Dojo himself, Lord Zia. If you don't know who Lord Zia is, you've honestly probably been living under a rock. I'm gonna spectate Zia, actually. But, Zia, one of the actual OG Ronins, has played almost since Comp's inception. While he's not active anymore, a lot of the strategies, a lot of the styles, specifically the aggressive style of Ronin, comes from him. He was the first guy to do it, along with Dino D, of course. As a matter of fact, the history for him goes back so far that him and Dino D used to be sparring partners way, way back. But he's up against Corrupt. And we're going to see if Lord Zia can take it over Corrupt. Now, I'm not sure how practiced Zia is, but we're going to find out. Zia, one of the most, if not the most aggressive Ronin of all time. Zia does one thing, and that is fight. And Corrupt is going to do another thing, and that is get away from Zia. Corrupt already selecting the Monarch. Zia has his phase ready, so he can look to be super aggressive if he wants. Zia doesn't really like it when he put his, oh my lord. Okay. So he thought he was there, and you can see right there that Lord Zia still has movement and mechanics. Unfortunately misses the arc wave, definitely feels a certain type of way about it. Zia definitely just here for the lulz, not here trying to, like, actually win or beat people. But Corrupt is playing very passively. Lord Zia still trying to make his approach. Unable to lock down the Monarch. Opt to just sprint. Corrupt still opting to play away from Zia, but now Zia's at a point where he can start playing the game. Corrupt now locked down in this crevice, meaning that he has to head to fight Zia. Zia looked for the arc wave, but unfortunately Corrupt successfully maneuvering away from the Ronin so far. But now he's coming head to toe with Lord Zia, and Lord Zia, one thing I will say about Lord Zia has some of the best shotgun play in the game. He does find the Sword Core, arc wave and activate. Oh my god, Lord Zia actually opted to use phenomenal movement to trip up Corrupt. Corrupt trying to find the Doom with the Exo 16. The problem, however, is that Corrupt now is the one with the rearmor reload. He can look for an all-in here. Smartly doesn't. Actually opts to back away. Zia survives somehow. Arcwave, however, doesn't find the mark. Despite all of Lord Zia's tricks and movement, it was not enough to overcome Corrupt's Monarch, and Corrupt will put the old Ronin down. 1-0 for Corrupt. Right now, Lord Zia going to go right back in. The thing with Zia is that, again, OG Ronin. I highly doubt he's going to pick anything else unless he's feeling, well, like himself, I should say, and decides to lock in a Scorch, decides to lock in a Tone. But for the most part, I expect him to just play Ronin through and through. We've seen lots of tricky play coming out from Lord Zia. Oh, Lord Zia unfortunately lagging. I should mention that Lord Zia plays from a very far away place. Another one of our Hawaiian players, along with Camp. Zia gonna opt to punch. Shotgun shots coming from Zia. Understood the arc wave. Opts to all in. This is something that Lord Zia is known for, is that he is known for just being absolutely very aggressive against Ronin. Specifically double arc wave ones, because the way that he likes to play against them is that he just tries to do all in them. Great movement by Zia. Gets the unblock shot on Corrupt. Tries to find another one. He is so close to core. If he can just find one good hit, he can get the sword core over Corrupt. Unfortunately, Lord Zia is going to be second on the core. Shotgun shots are good. Both Ronins are one swing. Lurcia's gonna look for the all-in for sure here. Gets the arc wave, gets one melee, phases, gets another one. No, doesn't find it. Unfortunately, Lurcia 1 HP. He's gonna look for an aggressive option here for sure. Corrupt opted to just back all the way from Lord Zia. Lurcia gonna try to go for the classic arc wave strat. He doesn't find it. Phase. Shotgun shot. No, Zia didn't shoot. He didn't opt to shoot and dash back. He actually could have killed Corrupt there. Instead, Lord Zia is gonna fall down. And he's gonna die.
Half time.
Lord Zia currently sitting at an 0-2 deficit. But
Pull it together, 6-4. Regroup, team up, and give him hell.
he's gonna have to find a way back into this game. We've seen reverse 3-0s happen. But he's gonna have to make a monumental climb. Monumental climb. Zia already on the back foot versus Corrupt. However, Zia is slowly but surely losing a ton of health against Corrupt, playing very aggressively. Corrupt's gonna pop the Sword Core now. Zia more than likely is gonna fall down. He has no phase. Great juke on the melee, however. He tried his best, and he died. And Lord Zia will fall down 3-0. He tried his best. But fortunately, takes another L. Now, just a double check. Is there any more challengers for the Kumite? My stream chat has been currently trying to bully me into playing, but I have no interest. Any more challengers? Guys, I'm literally not playing. Okay? I have been on this microphone for 2.5 hours. Plus, I haven't even practiced on console at all. So it's gonna be a wash. AKA me. I don't really play PC nowadays. $360, stop. Alright guys, I'll give you guys a grand total of 3 minutes. Okay? If there are no more challenges, then we will end the event here. So, 9:49. Okay. Guys, I am not playing in the event. Bruh. Bro, everyone all at once is bullying me. Holy Lord. Alright. Fine. Apparently, due to popular demand, I'm actually in the Kumite for no reason. Oh my goodness gracious. Alright, so you guys wanted it. And I love you guys enough, okay? And
Transferring control
I might as well give it to you. Why not?
pilot mode online.
Don't expect me to do anything well.
All right, 6-4. Destroy those enemy titans.
I'm still as different.
Engaging guard mode. Sensors scanning for enemy hostiles.
It is good to have you back. Damage. Take cover.
Pilot on board. Welcome back. Pilot control initiated. Focus. Plan. Attack.
All right, 6-4. Destroy those enemy titans.
Solid copy. Guard mode activated. Weapons energized.
Goodbye, pilot. Excessive damage. Exposed. Facing compromise.
Half time.
Component sword transfer to pilot.
All right, 6-4. Destroy those enemy titans.
Transferring controls to manual operation.
Come on, let's leave them in the dust. All right, 6-4. Destroy those enemy Titans. We did it. Easy win.
Oh,
Good work.
did something happen? What happened? What happened? The corrupt DC? What happened? Oh, I guess he DC'd. Okay. Looks okay. I'll get him back in.
Pilot on board. Welcome back.
All right, 6-4. Destroy those enemy Titans.
Smart moves, pilot. It is good to have you back.
All right, 6-4. Destroy those enemy Titans. Half time.
The systems are yours. We are stronger united.
All right, 6-4. Destroy those enemy Titans.
The sword is yours, pilot.
We're winning, but not by much. Let's show them, 6-4. All right, 6-4. Destroy those enemy Titans.
Engaging guard mode. Sensors scanning for enemy hostile.
Controls are handed to you, pilot.
Alrighty then. Now that that's done, that will conclude the corrupt Kumite. Just want to say, GG's to everybody who played, and special shoutouts to Corrupt for like hanging in there and playing all these matches back to back, and with a surprise opponent at the end being me because the Titanfall community is mad at it. So again, huge respect to Corrupt for sitting here in the hot seat for almost 3 hours and playing everybody. Okay. GG's to everybody who pulled up and decided to play. I am so glad that we were able to have a hype exhibition of multiple different players and skill levels being showcased. My name is Lethal Force, okay? And of course, you know what it is. I will be commentating and hosting the tournament on PS4 next week, Saturday, which will be a 1v1 roulette format. Coming out next month in June, we have the following tournaments. Like I said, the PS4 one that just happened. We also have two CTF tournaments coming up. We have an Xbox CTF tournament that will hopefully happen. We need to get more signups for that. So if you're interested in pilots, okay, TBD's got you covered. CTF is on the horizon. And speaking of things being on the horizon, the last tournament of June that we're going to have, we're also going to have another. I believe the format is 5v5 PC CTF. So we're going to have some pilot action coming up in June, changing things up from the Titan format. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for showing up. My name is Lethal Force. I am so glad that we could have Titanfall's first ever successful exhibition. Well, actually, we might have one more challenger. Funbus? Are you actually at your Xbox? Funbus? Is that you? Are you at your Xbox? Are we about to have a surprise? You're not playing? Never mind. Okay, never mind. He's not playing. All right. No more jokes. That should be everybody, though. Again, I said it before, but seriously, huge shout-outs to Corrupt for coming out, actually being here, and sitting in the hot seat for over 2 hours playing all these players. I'm hoping that we will have more exhibitions in the future. My name is Lethal Force, and that's going to be the end of today's broadcast. I'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for watching.